Welcome everybody to the Texas Card House RGV as we get ready for some 2-5 action tonight. Getting everything set up right now. All right, first hand of the stream, folks. I'm not sure if it's off on my end or your end, but I'm trying to get the screen centered properly. So give us 1 second while we get this screen figured out. All right, so gonna be off real quick. Be back in a minute. BRB.
35 more, Eric. 35 more. What's wrong with you? I haven't even seen my cards. I know, that's why. $5,000 each.
Yeah. Okay. All right, just some little technical difficulties here, but I think we got it sorted out. First 10 of the stream, Tony stacks. Had pocket queens and flops top set. Bet in 250 on the river. And Finn's fan folding with just ace high. So let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Okay. All right, got the technical difficulties worked out. We did start a little bit late today as we had a large number of people show up to play the Friday night free roll. So one of the dealers, uh, wasn't here, so we needed to open the free roll table. The $20 free roll, very popular here at Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, and really popular tonight. But we did start the stream a little bit late. We started about an hour late, to be honest with you, but the plan is to play 4 hours on the stream as we always do. We have Carlos under the gun with the ace. He's going to be making the fold. Sam coming in for the raise here. $15 raise for Sam. Vince Fan not in his seat. Nuno making the call with the suited connectors. Big Fish coming along with the king high. Big Fish actually has the best hand right now. Big Fish making a return to the stream as the flop will come 9 high. And Sam flopping top pair. And he will put in the C-bet. It's a 9 high flop. It's showing the jack of spades. I believe that's the 8 of. I believe there's an 8 on there, which is why Nuno's calling with the 8-5. Let's just confirm here. Yeah, jack, 8-6. Oh, Nuno with a pair, a flush draw, and a straight draw. Huge, huge hand for Nuno. And he's going to hit the straight right on the turn. Keep in mind the graphics. I was going to say the graphics are wrong. The graphics showing a 6 of hearts. Little Freaky Friday tonight. As we did start late for some technical difficulties, and I will let them know to change out the cards. I know last time that helped. It's showing the 6 of hearts on the reader. Sam looking for a 10. Oh, he's going to hit 2 pairs, so he might call a bet here from Nuno, as Nuno does have the straight, but Nuno checks it behind since he did have the sucker straight. All right, we'll keep an eye on the card reader. If we have another issue, we'll get that deck switched out. Now, keep in mind, we are on a 15-minute delay. We're on a 15-minute delay. So this hand happened 15 minutes ago. I am seeing it live with you as we have an under-the-gun straddle from Rock. You can see everybody's chip stacks. Looks like Nuno came in for about just under 1,000, as he's already up to 48. Tony Stacks coming in for 1,000. Carlos also coming in for 1,000. Big Fish coming in for 500. Rock coming in for 1,500. And Sam with the big stack buying in for over 3,000. Action will be on Nuno with the ace-9 of diamonds. Was there a raise ahead? Because it's saying 40 to call. Oh, it's a triple straddle. Nuno's just going to be making the call. Big Fish folding. He had a queen, so yeah, that's what happened. It was a $40 straddle. This is a 2-5 game. Rock put on 10, and then Sam re-straddled to 20, and then Finn's fans making it 40, and now he's going to put in the raise. I don't like this raise. Not because he has a 10 high, but he would have been playing this hand heads up against Nuno. So no reason to bloat the pot out of position, and that's what Finn's fan is doing here. Once again, we do see his hands, and yeah, like I said, I don't like the play just because you are bloating the pot out of position, and there was really no need to, considering that you're going to go heads up. Everybody folded to the double straddle. Nuno made the call under the gun to the $40, and everybody folded. And now Nuno's going all in, and Finn's fan is hating his life. Oh, he's going to make the call. His diamonds are not live. You can see him dejected there. So looking for a 10 or an 8. It looks like an ace on the flop right away. Yes, it is an ace on the flop. So he's going to need some running cards. A 9. Now he's drawn dead. So Nuno will get the double up, and looks like the card reader's reading the cards properly.
Tell me you still do this. You're saying wow.
Like I'm saying, I don't mind the raise out of the straddle or the blinds, but normally you're trying to squeeze some other players out of the hand, and there was really no other player to squeeze out besides Nuno, who called the $40. So Finn's fan gonna have to rebuy here on the second hand, and you can see who's the winners so far. And Nuno already up over $500. Tony Stacks, he won the first hand, and then everybody else you can see their stack sizing. Sam came in for over $3,000. You can see the stack of black chips that he has in front. And remember, when you are playing, you always want the big chips in front or on top of the stack. You can see Rock next to him has a couple of black chips, and they're on top of the stack. So yeah, the big chips should always go in front or the top of the stack. And Sam has a lot of them as we are getting ready for the fourth hand. So Sam did put on a double straddle last hand, but it looks like there will be no straddle this hand, as action will be on Sam under the gun. Finn's fan rebuying for $500, and they are taking care of his chips, and boom, there they are. Sam will fold the King 4 offsuit. Finn's fan with the 9-4 offsuit. I think he should be folding here, but he did just lose a hand. He does make the fold. Nuno with the 3-2, and looks like we got somebody new on the stream here. Seat 2. Let's see who seat 2 is. That's going to be Oscar. So Oscar with the King 7 of spades. First time playing on the stream, and he's coming in for 15. I like it. You're going to play the hand? Might as well raise it. It's his first hand as well. He just sat down. It looks like Rock is going to be calling him out of the big blind with the 5 deuce of hearts. So heads up to a flop we go. Action will be on the 5 deuce of Rock. $32 in the middle. Got Johnny V pitching the cards tonight. And it's going to be a nice flop for Oscar. And Rock actually hits a pair. So Oscar flops a flush draw. Let's see if he c-bets it. Rock will probably call at least one time any reasonable bet. Oscar is betting $30, so about a pot-sized bet. And that was not reasonable for Rock. So Oscar will take down his first hand. First time playing on the stream, you're winning your first hand, so feeling good so far. It is a $500 minimum buy-in on the 2-5 game. Normally, it is a $200 minimum buy-in. Since we are playing on the stream and we know everybody likes to see big pots, and I cannot lie, then everybody comes in for a little bit more, buy-in being $500 minimum. And it looks like Finn's fan has the $10 straddle on under the gun, so action will be on seat 1. Nuno, tonight's big winner so far. We're only 5 hands in, but he's already up over $500. Nuno with the King 5 offsuit. And Oscar, let's see what he has this hand. Just the 7-3, so he gets rid of that. Big Fish folding his 5-3. And looks like it's going to fold around to the small blind of Rock, who makes a call with the suited 10. 10-6. Loop 6-10. Sam raising with the Queen 8. Oh, it looks like Rock's going to call as well. So Finn's fan with the best hand with the 4s, but he has a lot of cards to avoid. So Finn's fan looking for a 4. And it'll come Ace, King, 10. Rock with the best hand, but Sam is going to represent the Ace or the King. He was the pre-flop raiser, and I think this is going to work, especially since It's a very draw-heavy board. So I mentioned it earlier when Finn's fan raised this straddle that I really didn't see a reason to. And you kind of had that same dynamic here where Rock was a small blind and Sam was in the big blind and Eric. So once Rock came into the pot, then Sam decided to raise his blind. I think if Rock just folds there, he was just going to call the 10 and go heads up against Finn's fan, but he saw an extra $10 out there that he went after. It is 7:15 here in Texas. We're on a 15-minute delay, like I said, as the action will be on Nuno. Nuno with the 10-8, excuse me, 10-9 offsuit will make the limp. Oscar with the 7s. He's going to be making the call, and they're just letting Oscar know about the reader. You can see the circles in front of each player. These are special cards, RFID cards. All the cards have a chip in them. And the reader is the circle in front of the players. Tony getting after with the 9-8 offsuit. Don't think it's going to work here, as he's already picked up a call from the 4s. Oh, Finn's fan might put in a squeeze play here. How much does Finn's fan have in his stack? Now Finn's fan, yep. Finn's fan put it on the squeeze play here. So this is when you want to put on the squeeze play, when there's actual players and dead money in the pot. I don't think anybody can call him. Sam might be curious and look him up, because this does seem like he's just going after the dead money here. So Sam might look him up. And if he does, he will be happy that he calls, because he'll be at 50-50. So Sam did buy him for over $3,000. We'll see if he's going to gamble early on here. If he could see the pocket 8s, he would snap call, but he made the fold. There is a chance that one of Sam's cards wasn't live, and that's why he made the fold, as Eric could be easily be making that play with an ace queen or ace jack or pocket jacks. So that was also in Finn's fan's range, and Sam knew that, so he did make the fold. All right, so it looks like we finally got everything settled. We did start late tonight. We do apologize for it, but the reason is we had a ton of people show up for the $20 free roll tournament, and kind of overwhelmed the staff there, as I believe we have 4 tables for the $20 tournament, and we have a couple cash game tables as well. So they got everything squared away with the $20 free roll, and then we did start the stream late. So thank you for joining us tonight. And we are playing 2-5 No Limit Texas Hold'em at the Texas Card House here in the Rio Grande Valley. 7-3 of spades for Oscar. Looks like he's going to come in for the limp. Big Fish making the return on the stream. Tony Stacks raising the previous hand with 9-8, and now he's raising this hand with Jack-7 of hearts. Looks like Sam makes the call with the Queen-10 offsuit. Finn's fan with the ace also makes the call. Nuno can't call with the 10-4, and Oscar will be closing the action here. So looks like he's going to make the call. He does not want to hit a 7, as Tony Stacks has the better 7. Finn's fan with actually the best hand right now, but he will be first to act. He has the best hand right now, but the worst position at the table. He is the small blind, so action will be on Finn's fan. as we go 4 ways to the flop. And it's going to be king high. Sam flopping a pair and a straight draw. Tony Sex flopping bottom pair. But it's going to check to Sam, and we'll see if Sam puts out a little bet here. A very coordinated board. Sam does have an open-ended straight draw, so that's going to get him to bet here. And he's going to bet about a third of the pot. Bets 50 into 145. Tony Stacks might call him, but I don't think he will. And he does not. So Sam calling the raise with Queen 10 on the button. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason why he called with that hand. It's not a super strong hand, but when you have the power of the button, it gives you some maneuverability. And Sam used it to his advantage there. As that pot will put Sam now in the green. 3 players in the green, 5 players in the red. Finn's fan, the biggest player in the red. Carlos, Big Fish, and Oscar just really down $20, so pretty much even. $10 straddle on the button. Action will start to the left, so action will be on the small blind. Ace King for Nuno. Now he is first to act, so he just might call the $10, and that's what he does. He's hoping somebody raises so he can re-raise. Oscar, it's an extra $5 to call, so he's going to make the call. He's already halfway in. Carlos with the King 9 makes the call. Rock coming along, and we'll see what Finn's fan has here. He does check his option. So Ace King, the best hand right now, and Nuno will be first to act as we are 5 ways, $50 in the middle, and it's going to be an ace right on the flop, 2 diamonds. Let's see if Nuno bets. No, he's still going to be slow playing the Ace King. Oscar does have a diamond draw, and it's going to go check around. Oscar looking for a diamond, and it'll be a diamond. So Nuno not going to like that. I think he's going to bet now to see if anybody has the diamonds. It's a small bet. It's only $20. One of those feeler bets. Oscar's definitely going to be calling, might be raising here. It's first time on the stream. I'm not sure if I've ever played with Oscar before, so he is going to be putting in the raise. It's going to be to 50, so a small raise from Oscar. And Nuno might call. If he had the King of Diamonds, he would insta-call. Finn's fan finally making the fold. I think Nuno's going to call. It's only an extra $30. And yes, he does make the call. So diamond will actually be good for Nuno because then he won't be able to call a small bet. It is a queen. I think that's another good card for him. I don't see him calling a bet more of $50. We'll see what Oscar bets here. Oscar bets 100. I don't think he's going to call it just because the flush beats him and now the queen beats him. So the queens was actually a good card for Nuno as it might save him money. So Oscar bet in $100 into $150, and like I said, I don't think Nuno's going to call. Although Nuno is up over $500, so that might factor in as well. Can he make the good fold? Nuno's still thinking, and Nuno does make the good fold. You can see he didn't want to, and it looks like Oscar flashed him a diamond. So he will be happy about that. Yeah, so you can see him smiling immediately. So we got our big $20 tournament that's going on right now. We are live in the YouTube chat, folks. We are live on the YouTube chat, streaming on TCH live tonight as we get ready for hand number 8. Hand number 9, excuse me. There's the VPIP. Oscar, 80%. Looks like Nuno has a $10 button strato, so action will be on Oscar in the small blind.
6 each, and then they paid for 2,500. So he won 4,500 total because he's in for 4.
Oscar with the Jack 6 makes the call. Big Fish calling the other $5. Carlos King Jack. Rock with the Ace Jack makes it 35. I think it's a little on the small side. Nuno's thinking about calling, but he does make the fold. Let's see what Oscar does with his Jack 6. 3 players with Jacks. I don't see Carlos folded, and it looks like Oscar's going to come along as he's protecting his small blind there, and that's going to bring in Big Fish, making his return to the stream. And Carlos going to be calling. He might re-raise. No, he just puts in the call. So 4 ways to the flop we go. 150 in the middle. Action will be on the Jack 6 of Oscar. And he's going to hit a 6. Probably check it, though. It's probably going to go check around unless if Rock decides to put in a C bet, and that's what he's doing. Making it 55, betting a third of the pot. Oscar not ready to give up on his hand. He does have the 6 of diamonds. Big Fish with the open-ended. Oh, is he raising here? So Big Fish flopping open-ended, needing a 4 or a 9. I don't think he could call this raise. He can re-raise, but I don't think he could call the raise. As a matter of fact, I think he was going to raise Rock, and that's what he's thinking about. Essentially, Oscar taking away his play. He checked the flop. He flops open-ended. Rock put out a 1/3 C bet, and he was going to check raise. That was his plan. And now he's going to change his plan. And that plan's going to be a fold. You can see he had a plan in mind, and I think Rock's going to call here. It's an extra 55. And he does make the call. He does not want to see a jack because that'll give Oscar 2 pair. Be interested to see what Oscar does here on the turn. Is he going to continue to represent a good hand? It's a deuce. So Oscar, like I said, will be interested to see what he does. And it looks like he's shutting down here as he does check. Rock checks behind. And a 9 coming on the river. So Big Fish would have got there if he would have gone all in. He did think about going all in, but decided on folding. And it looks like Oscar's going to put out a $100 bet here. And Rock cannot call. Any 8 makes a straight. Nobody has an 8. Oscar can't believe he just won the hand. I don't think Rock called. Oscar did show his hand, but I don't think Rock called because it said, no, he did call because there was $470 pot. So I think Rock just called out of curiosity. He was getting a real good price there. All right, I was talking about this $20 tournament, and it's going on right now. Like I said, they have like 3 or 4 tables. Really picking up steam. Very, very fun tournament to play in. $20 buy-in, 20,000 started stack. Starts at 6 p.m. The stream is also scheduled to start at 6 p.m., so those two overlapped. And that's why we started late today. $10 button straddle coming from Oscar, so he's really really having a good time on the stream so far. Tony Stacks taking the King 9, making it 75. That's a pretty big raise. Tony Stacks does not want anybody to call, and Vince Fan will make the call with the ace. Oscar with the suited queen. You can see he knows it's a bad hand, but he also came to gamble. He makes the call. You can literally see the two voices on his shoulder. One of them saying to fold, one of them saying, it's Friday night, let's gamble. And Vince Fan will flop the ace. Let's see if he bets it. 2-2-7 in the middle. Checked around. Queen coming on the turn, so that's going to give Tony Stacks a straight draw. Now he's going to bet. Vince Fan will be making the call, and I think Oscar's going to be calling as well. Oscar hitting the queen on the turn, so he's going to be calling as well. Oh, he's putting in the raise. Second time we see him take a weak hand and turn it into a bluff. It worked last time. I don't think it's going to work this time. Vince Fan is going to be calling the extra, what is it, an extra 135. How much does Vince Fan have behind? He has behind 400. I think Vince Fan's going to call here, but this does look like a real strong move. And one of the reasons is because it's such a small raise into the big pot. So he's basically telling his opponents that he wants them to call here, trying to do the Jedi mind trick. I think Vince Fan is going to call, and looks like he's cutting out the call. 75. So he does make the call. Does Oscar bluff on the river if he misses? Let's see what. Oh, it's the 9 of hearts. So he does check. Does Oscar give up? Or does he put Vince Fan all in? Those are the only two options, and Oscar's going to give up. Oscar's going to give up. I don't know if Vince Fan would have called the bet on the river. And that's going to be a $700 pot going to Vince Fan. Look at all those chips. So got a lot of stuff going on tonight here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. We do have this $20 tournament. It is $20 to enter, 20K start attack, $2,000 guaranteed prize pool. Normally first place pays about $1,000. Real fun tournaments playing. We run it on Fridays at 6 and Sundays at 2 p.m. On the weekends, the tournaments do start at 2. Back to the action we go, as it'll be under the gun. Rock will be first to act. You can see the players making sure that their cards scan properly. Rock with the 8-3 makes the fold. Sam also with the fold. Vince Fan just winning last hand has the Jack 8. It looks like he's going to make the call. And Vince Fan with the table banter to Tony Stacks. Thank you, Tony Stacks, for making it 75 pre-flop and then betting 75 on the turn. 5 ways to the flop we go. It's going to be a 10 high flop. And nobody has a 10. Nobody has a 5. Or nobody has a 3. So the pocket deuce is still in front. It's going to check around here. And now a 4 coming, which will give a straight draw to the queen 6 of Tony Stacks, and he leads right out. Carlos also has a straight draw with the deuces, so he makes the call. And maybe Big Fish will call with the ace. I don't see anybody else calling. As Eric makes the fold. And Big Fish makes the call. So Big Fish looking for an ace. No, Big Fish is looking for... Big Fish is drawing dead, isn't he? What can he hit? If he hits an ace, then Carlos makes a straight. If he hits a 7, then Tony Stacks makes a straight. I don't know what he could hit. It's going to be a jack either way. And we'll see if... Yeah, it's just going to go check around, it looks like. I know the percentages were showing that Big Fish still had equity in the hand, but I don't see what he could hit. Oh, he could hit a 6. There you go. If he would hit the 6, it would make him a straight to the 7. So that's why it was showing that he had some equity in the hand. He had 3 outs. And that's what Tony Stacks is letting him know right now. He said, hey, if you hit your ace, he had deuces, he would have made a straight. We also have the 2-for-1 time going on today. So today and on Sundays, it is capped at $100, and it must be purchased at the front desk. Cannot be purchased at the table. Looks like we have a $10 button straddle from Tony Stacks on the button. And the winner of the last hand with the deuces, Carlos. Action will be on him with King Jack. It's probably going to be calling here. And he does. Rock calls immediately afterwards with the King 10 of clubs. Finn's fan with the 10s, raising it up to 65. That's a good raising size, as there was already 40 in the middle. And it's going to fold around to Tony Stacks. Let's see what he has. He has 9 deuce, so he'll get rid of it. One of these players is going to call, maybe both. Carlos with the King Jack. Rock with the King 10 of clubs. So Carlos making the call, and that's going to bring Rock along. So Finn's fan looking to avoid a king or a jack. $150 in the middle. Keep in mind this is a 2-5 game. The pot's building real quick. And a jack coming right on the flop. I still think Finn's fan is going to c-bet here, as he was scared of an ace, king, or queen. But somebody actually has the jack. 150 in the middle. I think he's going to put out like 75. Oh, he's going to put out a big bet there of 105. It's not going to work. It was showing that Rock bet 55, but it looks like he checked, and Finn's fan bet 105. Either way, it's 105 for Carlos to call. I think he's going to call, and he might even raise here. And he's raising. And Finn's fan makes the immediate fold. So good fold by Finn's fan. Didn't get married to the 10s. Sometimes you see a player not want to fold his hand, not believing, but Finn's fan believes, and he was right. The players we're talking about earlier about this tournament here at the Texas Card House that's coming up next week. This is a good one, folks. If you know anybody in the South Texas area, somebody was asking me earlier, where's the Rio Grande Valley? We are 3 hours directly south of San Antonio, just over 200 miles. We are in the city of Edinburg, which is part of the Rio Grande Valley down here in South Texas. But this is a great tournament. It is only $100 to enter. It's beginning on Monday. There will be 12 different flights. $100 to enter, $10,000 for first, guaranteed. 25K starting stack, 25K guaranteed payout. It's only a $100 buy-in. Great, great value. Looks like a $10 straddle from Vince Fan. And Big Fish, min raising it to 20. And getting a call from the 8-4 offsuit. Big Fish flopping a pair. He flops the best hand. And he's going to check as Tony stacks with the 4-5. Puts out $50. Finn's Fan thinking about calling with the 8, but he folds. I don't think Big Fish is folding, as he does have a pair. He has some backdoor flush draws, backdoor straight draws. And I think he's going to check the turn. It does come a spade. That does give Tony Stacks a pair. So we'll see if he continues telling the story. He does not. The river will be a 7. I think Big Fish is going to check again and pretty much go into check call mode here. The straight did get there with the 7. 187 in the middle. And Big Fish is going to put out a bet of $40. Very interesting bet sizing. He min-raised the straddle pre-flop. There's a $10 straddle. He made it 20 with the Queen 8 of spades. Called a $50 bet on the flop. Check on the turn, and now is betting $40 into $187. And Tony Stacks is a little confused. And he might give him $40. He does not. So give the win to Big Fish. Put him on the board. Once again, make sure you tell people about this tournament coming up here, Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. $100 to enter. There's also a $1,000 bonus for the player who bags the most. And there's a $1,000 bonus for the player who has the most entries. So you get a bonus if you play really good, and you get a bonus if you play really bad. The top 10% of players will advance for each flight into day number 2. And once you advance on to day number 2, you are in the money. It's 4 hours of late registration for both flights as well.
The regular casino is not really good, but the high limit is pretty good.
Tony Stacks has been raising a lot. Looks like he's just going to be making the call with the 9-7 offsuit. And Finn's Fan will check his option. So heads up to a flop we go. 9 high is the flop. Tony Stacks flopping top pair. Finn's Fan flopping a gut shot. Needs a 3 for a straight. And he's going to lead out $15. Tony Stacks will make the call. Finn's Fan looking for a 3. And it's going to be a jack. Let's see if he slows down. I think he's going to slow down here. Yeah, he did. He checks, and now Tony Stacks will bet his 9 to the tune of $30. And Finn's Fan does make the fold.
You have to go on the street. Throwing it up to like 2K. There's only 2 cents where it says $25 back there, and that was like $400. This weekend, at the top. This weekend, $25 back there came with cash out $10K.
There's the winner so far. Big Fish into positive, $40 up. Nuno, the big winner so far. Oscar basically breaking even,
I remember.
as he did make a bluff that didn't work out.
My wife was with me, so it was, no, it wasn't much. It was like
Vince
$1,000.
fan making a comeback.
No, no, I just went.
Still in the red, but making a comeback.
My splits hit. Just bet the house money when you're winning. You bet bigger.
So action will be on Oscar seat 3. Like I said, it's his first time playing the stream. I don't think I have much experience playing with him. He has been aggressive with the raises. Worked one time, didn't work the other time. But as they say, it's better to have bluffed and lost than to have never bluffed at all. Ace Jack of clubs from Carlos. He's going to be putting out a big raise, making it 55. I don't think anybody can call this. Oh, Nuno has 9, so Nuno will be calling. Basically 50-50 here. Nuno in the lead right now with the 9s, and he's still in the lead as there's only one overcard. He also has a straight draw. He's going to check Carlos, the initial raiser. Will he put in the continuation bet? He does not. And now a 4 comes on the turn. I think Nuno's going to bet here. He's going to bet probably about 60. No, Nuno checks again. So Carlos needed an ace or a jack. Does not hit anything. Does Nuno finally bet? No, Nuno doesn't bet. It goes check, check all the way down. So Carlos with a big pre-flop raise, but he did get to see the turn and the river for free as this went checked all the way down. So he had a lot of opportunities to hit his ace or jack. So let us know on the chat where you're watching from tonight, as we are live on the YouTube chat, streaming on TCH Live. $10 button straddle from Finn's fan coming. So action will be on the small blind. Nuno first to act. Pocket deuces. Another pocket pair and another call coming from Nuno. Oscar another $5, but he has the 10 deuce. He's getting too good of a price to fold, so he does toss in the other $5. He's already halfway in. Everybody with deuces. So Nuno's not going to be able to improve his hand. Sam with the king 9. Also, I was going to say also makes call, but he actually makes the raise. Looks like Nuno's just going to be making a call, and Nuno's going to be in bad shape here as 2 other players have deuces. So there's no way he can improve his hand. So not only does he have to avoid all the overcards, he also has to avoid the double paired board where he will get counterfeit. So even though Nuno has a pair, once everything clears up here, we're going to see his percentage is going to be pretty small going to the flop here. Tony Stack's making the call. So even though Nuno has a pair, he's only 24% to win right now. And the most equity, 34%, the ace deuce of spades. A jack comes right on the flop. Finn's fan with the jack. It's probably going to get checked to him. It's $250 in the pot, so he should bet at least 100, maybe 150. Somewhere between 100 and 150 will be a nice size in here. There's 250 in the middle, and he's betting 50? He's betting 40. So Nuno's going to have to fold, and he knows it. But he's getting a real good price. 40 into 250. Like I said, he's actually drawn dead. He doesn't know that he's drawn dead. It's showing he has 13%. It can go running hearts. So Nuno needs a heart here.
I saw that one hand where
The ace coming out, I think that's going to freeze the action. It's just going to go check, check here. Let's see.
yeah, I mean, Spider's balling for a lot and kept running it up all night. And then DQ is like, there was some random toss where he would just go crazy.
Nuno bets. Excuse me, Nuno checks and Fins fan bets.
Everybody and they all were exactly on
And Nuno makes a call.
last week. You're on the table, right?
Nuno looking for a deuce, but all the deuces have been folded. And I think Fins fan is just going to check it here as he got called on the flop, got called on the turn when the ace came. And it should go check, check. There's almost $500 in the pot. 2-5 game, basically a buy-in. This is what it costs to sit down. It costs $500 to sit down. Oh, Nuno turning his hand into a bluff. Betting $130. But like I said, there's almost $500 in the pot. I think Fins fan is going to make a crying call here. He will be right, but I think he's going to make a crying call. As he doesn't want to call, he doesn't want to fold. The hearts did miss. And he does make the call, yes. So Nuno reluctantly shows the deuces. And Fins fan will show the king jack off. $740 pot there, folks. Big action here at the Texas Card House. Keep in mind, we are one of 6 Texas Card Houses located across the state of Texas. Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. We are located in South Texas, city of Edinburg to be exact. The region down here is known as the Rio Grande Valley. Then there is a Texas Card House in Austin, just northwest of the capital, on Research Boulevard, Highway 183. Then you have 2 Texas Card House locations in the Dallas area, the DFW area, North Texas. One in the city of Dallas, one right next door in the city of Irvin, the Los Calimas area to be exact. And then there's 2 Texas Card House locations located in the Houston area. One in the city of Houston by the Galleria, basically southwest Houston on Westheimer. And then another one north of Houston in the city of Spring. Oscar with the 9s, just going to make the call. There is a straddle on the button. Rock with the ace, might make the call, but it is an ace-6. No, he does make the call. Sam with the 10s will be raising to 100. Make it 125. So pretty big raise coming here from Sam. And Oscar might call him. He does have a pair. And he is, looks like he is making the call. So Oscar in terrible shape here. Not only does Sam have a bigger pair, Sam has his suits covered. He cannot hit clubs, he cannot hit diamonds, as Sam has both his suits covered. So Oscar looking for a 9, and it'll come queen high. I think Sam's going to put out the C bet here. $300 in the pot. He's probably going to make it close to 200, I think. There's 2 clubs. Like I said, Sam has the clubs. Dominated as well. Sam betting 75. I think Oscar's going to be making the call here, and does. So a little filler bet from Sam, putting out 75. 8 or a 9. It's a 6. Oscar's going to check again. I think Sam's going to check behind once he put out the 75 there. Yep. So Sam put out the 75 to see if anybody had a queen, or to see if Oscar had a queen, and he called. So Sam actually either puts Oscar on a queen or on club draws or on a 7. And Sam's calling this $100. It's an insta call. So Oscar will see the bet news as he is outnotched. 10s versus 9s. $645 pot. Going to Sam. As we're about an hour into tonight's stream. Tomorrow we do have our deep stack tournament. It's $200 to enter. It does start at 2 p.m. $5,000 guaranteed prize pool. $5,000 guaranteed prize pool. $2,000 to first. 50K start and stack. 30-minute levels. So you get a lot of playability, a lot of maneuverability in this tournament. It's tomorrow at 2 here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. On to the next hand. Action will be on Carlos under the gun. Jack Deuce offsuit into the muck. Rock with the 9-8 makes the call. Sam folds, and now Finn's fan with the suited ace. Thought he might be raising, just makes the call. Oscar making the call. You can see he's a bit frustrated after losing that last hand. And Tony will check his option. So 5 ways to the flop we go. 25 in the middle. Big Fish will be first to act as it comes 4, deuce, deuce. Finn's fan with a 4, and it is Tony Stacks also with a 4, but he's out kicked. So Finn's fan makes the call. And Oscar also making the call. So Oscar looking for a 5. His king is not good as Tony Stacks has the king 4. Ace comes on the turn, a club. Very interesting card there is it gives Finn's fan 3 pair and it gives Oscar a straight draw and a flush draw. So now Oscar needs a club for a flush or a 3 for a straight, and it's only $15. I don't see him folding here. It's also a straight flush draw. Oh, wow. He did make the fold. He had a straight flush draw. 3 of clubs would have given him a straight flush, and it was only $15. It's Tony Stacks making the call. It looks like it's going to go check, check. And Finn's fan bets another 15, but it's just too much to call. So it turned out to be a good fold by Oscar as he would have missed this flush and would have missed this straight. We also got the popularity contest going on this month. Very, very good promo for all the players here. So if you play here at Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, you want to get some friends and families together and bring them out one day, as the player who refers the most new members will get $1,000. Top 3 get paid. Even third place gets paid $250. So if you recommend a new member, you have a chance to win $1,000 this month at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Ace Queen for Sam, making it 25. Oscar with the king deuce. Makes the call. It looks like Rock making the call too. So Sam in a real good position. Oscar does have live cards though. And Oscar's going to hit the best pair. I think Sam will put out the C bet though. It's $82. But Sam does slow down. And Oscar with the bottom pair will take the free card. And the free card will be the ace of spades. Now Sam pulls out in front. And Sam is going to be betting 75, almost a pot-sized bet. Don't think anybody could call here. So Oscar makes the fold, and Rock will make the fold as well. Give the win to Sam. Don't forget about our high hands here. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. $100 high hands with rollovers. They usually get to over $500, sometimes even over $1,000. And the reason why is qualifiers are involved. Aces full of tens or better to qualify. Aces full of tens or better to qualify. Both cards must play. Both hold cards must play. So, like I said, it does get, it builds up real fast, these progressive high hands on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's always nice to make a good hand at the poker table and get a little bonus. And it's going to be at least a $100 bonus if it's aces full of tens or better. Looks like we have a button straddle. Tony Stacks making it 20 on the button. Carlos making the call with the ace out of the small blind. Oscar had king 5 earlier, has king 5 again. Big Fish making the call with the jack 9 of diamonds, and Tony Stacks checking his option with the 10-8 of hearts. Pick a hand. Which hand do you want to win? Top pair for Big Fish. Let's see if he bets. He does. Makes a $30 bet. Gets an immediate call from Tony Stacks, as Tony Stacks has some backdoor draws. Needs a heart, needs a 7, or needs a 10. I think if Big Fish checks this turn, I don't know what it's going to be, Tony Stacks is going to bet it. Oh, Tony Stacks hits his 8, which is not going to be good. Big Fish does check, and Tony's going to bet it. I think he's going to bet big, too. I think he's going to bet at least 100. Now he bets 30 again, as he thinks Big Fish has a deuce or 3 or just some high cards. 3 coming on the river. Might go check, check. This hand's been played a little passively, and it does go check, check. Big Fish announces a 9. Tony Stacks immediately mucks. And Big Fish will get the $200 pot coming his way. So I believe they're about to switch out the dealer, as the dealers normally switch out on the stream every hour. So don't forget, popularity contest here at the Texas Card House. $1,000 for the person who refers the most new members. It is a $10 daily membership. $10 button straddle from Finn's Fan under the gun. Action will be on seat 1, Nuno. 7 deuce, worst hand in poker. He's not going to play it. Seems like Oscar likes to see flops, and he's going to be making the call. Looks like Carlos with the queen 10 going to be raising it up to 60. Rock just calling with the 10s, and I think that's going to bring along another player. Yeah, like I said, it appears like Oscar likes to see flops, and he's just going to go all in here. Is it enough to reopen the action? Carlos raised it 50, so is it more than 110? Yes, it is more than 110, so it does reopen the action. A real strong move from Rock here would be to re-raise, but I don't think he is. No, he just makes the call. And they're probably just going to check it down. There is an empty side pot. So unless if Carlos hits flush or a couple of queens, I think they're just going to check this down. Keep in mind, there is an empty side pot, so really no need to bluff at the pot because somebody's all in. Oh, my gosh. You remember what I said about them checking it down? Yeah, that's not going to happen anymore as Carlos flops a flush, and he has a redraw to a straight flush. He flops the nuts, or he flops a queen high flush, and he could hit a king or an 8 for a straight flush. He will bet. Rock does not have a heart. He does have pocket tens. There's only one overcard on the board, and he's going to make the call, thinking that Carlos only has one heart. Do we see a straight flush on the stream? Still have a chance. Rock is going to check again. I think Carlos is going to bet again, maybe another 100. Carlos knows he has the best hand, so he's going to probably size down here to try to get a call from Rock. He also has the straight flush draw. Oh, no, he's going with a big size here. He's going with 250. Rock can't call this. Let's see, Rock has 850 behind. Yeah, he's going to reluctantly fold. He doesn't want to fold, but he's going to fold. There it is. And Carlos is going to show his hand and say, look at this hand, bro. So Carlos, a king or an 8 for a straight flush. He's winning the pot. A king or an 8 for a straight flush. Will it happen? No. Comes with a 6. So Oscar actually hit 2 pair with jacks and 6s. But 2 pair does not beat a flush. Carlos will win the $515 pot. We'll see if Oscar rebuys. Like I said, it's his first time on the stream. There's also a bad beat here at Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. If you have a straight flush and you lose, then you get paid. Both players must play both code cards. So essentially straight flush versus straight flush. Very rare to happen, but if it does, there's a bad beat. Player stack sizes, there you go. Carlos, the big winner so far. Sam, Nuno, Vince Fan, and Big Fish, all 3 players in the green. And then all 4, excuse me, I can't count today. All 5 players in the green, 3 players in the red. That's where I got the 3 from. As Tony Stacks, Oscar, and Rock in the red. And I'm not sure if Oscar's rebuying. Big Fish with the $10 raise with the 5-6 of clubs. Tony Stacks immediately calls him. And Vince Fan going to be putting in the 3-bet here. Looks like he's making it 60. An immediate call from, looks like everybody. So Big Fish does not want to hit clubs as Vince Fan has queen 10 of clubs. We just saw Carlos flop a flush last time with queen 10 of hearts. And it'll be hearts again. Ace, 9, 7. Big Fish with a gut shot straight draw. It's going to go check around. Everybody's scared of the ace. Ace on the turn. Now we got 2 spades, 2 hearts on the turn. And Vince Fan is thinking about bluffing. He was the initial raiser. And that's what he's going to do. It's going to be a small bet here. Looks like 45. Big Fish might call with a straight draw. And then plans to bluff on the river if he misses. I don't see Tony Stacks calling, but Big Fish might call here. Like I said, he'll call the 45. No, he does not. So Vince Fan has the best hand, and he shows the bluff, but he was bluffing with the best hand. So I don't think Oscar's coming back in. And right as I say that, I see chips at the table. So there are chips at the table, and I think he's just taking a smoke break. There's some chips there on seat 3, which is where Oscar was sitting. No straddle this hand. Action will be on Big Fish, as he raised it $10 last time with the 5-6 of clubs. And this time he has the 10 deuce. He'll put that in the muck. Yeah, looks like Oscar's back in. King Queen for Tony Stacks. Gonna make it 20. Makes it 25. Rock with the suited ace just makes the call. Vince Fan in seat 1 makes the fold. Nuno with the King 6 suited, he's coming along. And we have $77 in the middle. Highway 77, one of the major highways here in South Texas, runs north and south. And it is hearts. Tony Stack, the initial raiser, flops top pair. And he does have the King of Hearts as well. Nuno flops a 6, and looks like he's going to take a stab at it. About 40. Bets 40. Tony Stacks is not going anywhere. He immediately calls. And Nuno does not want to see a king, as it'll give Tony Stacks a better 2 pair. And it is a jack. I think Nuno's going to slow down here. And he does. 137. Tony Stacks. Action is on him, and he is putting out a bet of 65. Nuno might make the call here. No, Nuno does fold. So as I said, Oscar back in, but I think, no, he's going to come in on the big line, so he's good to go. I was going to say, I think he has to wait because of the way the software is set up on the stream. And Vince Fan will put on the straddle, and they are putting Oscar's information back in to the system. So we'll see if Big Fish puts out the straddle, as Tony Stack is trying to convince Big Fish to put out the straddle so he could re-straddle, but Big Fish does not. So action will be on the small blind, $10 button straddle. Action does start to the left of the straddle. Ace King for Nuno. And last time he limped with the Ace King and it cost him. This time he's going to raise with the Ace King, and it looks like a big raise. Yeah, he bumps it up to 75 here. So maybe about 15 hands ago, the same situation came up where Vince Fan straddled 10 on the button. Nuno was first to act, and he had Ace King and just limped. Oscar limped in behind him with the 9 deuce of diamonds and wound up catching a flush. So Nuno remembered that last time he decided to get tricky or play his Ace King slow. Double down, baby. So he will just raise it first to act, picks up $15, the $10 from the straddle, the $5 from the big blind. And we will move on to the next hand. You gotta build the network. And Nuno will put out a $10 button straddle. Let me check on how many players are entered in this tournament. Of course, the Texas Card House is on Poker Atlas. If you do not have Poker Atlas, very, very good app to download, especially if you ever travel. It'll let you know where the closest card houses are. All right, action on Oscar, 8-4. He does have $2 in, and I know he likes to see flops, but he is on his second buy-in. And, yeah, he does make the fold. Action on Big Fish now. He's halfway in, but he does also make the fold. Tony Sachs with the Jack-9 calls the 10. Rock with the Ace Deuce of Spades also calls the 10. And Sam sees a bunch of limpers, and he's going to punish the limpers with the King 8 of Diamonds. I don't know if Rock's going to call. Tony Sachs is going to call. Jack-9 suited. And looks like Rock will make the call as well. So suited ace versus a suited king versus a suited jack. Tony Sachs with the Jack-9 of hearts will be first to act. Let's see if anybody flops a flush draw. We got hearts, diamonds, and spades. And 2 clubs come out. Tony Sachs does flop the best hand. Sam flops bottom pair. He was your initial raiser, but he does slow down. Rock looking for an ace or a spade. And it's going to be the king of clubs. So Sam turning 2 pair. Probably going to bet about 125. He bets 125, and that should end it. As the flush got there, nobody has a club to call him. And Sam, your pre-flop raiser, turns 2 pair and will take down the pot. Let's see what stats are. All right, raise first in. And Sam, who just raised first in the last hand, is the leader in that department. I mentioned this earlier. Normally, I like for at least 25 hands to occur before we really start paying attention to these stats, because that's a decent sample size considering the fact that on the stream we will have somewhere between 80 and 100 hands dealt in the 4 hours. It does play a little bit slower because it does take a little more time for the dealers to make sure that they're pitching exactly where the circle is, the players making sure they scan the cards right, the production crew punching all the information into the computer. It does take a little bit longer. So on a normal 4-hour stream, normally get in between 80 and 100 hands, which is why I like for about 20, 25 hands before paying any attention to the stats flashing up on the bottom of the screen. Nuno with the $75 raise. Is Big Fish going to call with the 8-6? Big Fish is calling with the 8-6. I don't mind the play being last to act, but now you're going to be first to act. Carlos actually folds the better ace. Tony Sachs also making the call with the 5-3 of clubs. So Big Fish actually not in terrible shape as both his 8, 6, and hearts are live. And it's going to be an ace-high flop. Excuse me, a queen-high flop. I think it's going to check to Nuno. Does Nuno put in a C-bet? Nuno's thinking about it, and it's going to work if he does. 245 in the middle. He's going to bet at least 100. Looks like 150. He does bet 150, and none of these players can call. Big Fish does have a straight draw with a 10. But keep in mind, he still has Tony Sachs left jack behind him. He doesn't know that Tony Stacks has 5 high and is going to fold, which is why I kind of didn't like the call, just because you were going to be out of position and you were probably going to bring in more people once you called, and that's what happened. I do like the suited connectors, but I prefer being in position when you have them, because even if you miss the flop, you can represent a big hand. But I think Big Fish was up on the stream, so he decided to call the bet, gamble. Didn't work out, but he's still up $15. You can see Sam up over $500. He did buy in for the most. He bought it for over $3,000. Nunu, who just won last hand, he's up almost $500. Carlos also up. He's up $400. Bought him for $1,000. Vince Fan, he had to rebuy, so he's in for $1,000. He bought in for $500 twice, but he did make it back. Oscar is down, as is Rock and Tony Stacks. Sam with the pocket pair, making it 20. Oscar with the Jack 9. He likes to see flops, and he's going to see this flop. Calling from the cutoff. Jack 9 offsuit. Big Fish making the call. Has the button. Has the Queen 9. And we are going to go 3 ways to the flop. Sam, the initial raiser with the 4s, has the best hand right here. Action will be on Sam. I think he kind of has to hit a 4 to put out the continuation bet. 10, 7, 7, 2 diamonds. So Sam doesn't think anybody has a 7. He's right. Puts out a small bet of only 25. And Oscar has a straight draw. He also has a diamond. So Oscar will be making the call. Big Fish also making the call. I think Big Fish is going to bluff on the turn if it bricks out. 6 coming out. Sam's going to slow down, I think. There's the check. I don't think Oscar's going to bet. Does Big Fish bluff? No, he does check. So Big Fish looking for a queen, a 9. And it's going to be a 7. So Sam with the full house. Of course, anybody else that has a 10 or a 6 also has a full house. And is anybody going to bluff? Does Big Fish put into bluff? There's 142 in the middle. The only way he can win the hand is by bluffing, and he knows it. And here comes the bluff. Is it going to be? It's got to be at least 100. No. He bets 50. I don't think this is going to work. I think Sam's going to look it up. Sam might fold just because he has a player left to act behind him. And no, he's not going to fold. Yeah, I think if Big Fish would have made it at least 100, it might have worked. But Sam thought about it for a second and makes the pretty quick call. Oh, yeah, I talked about the Poker Atlas. A lot of people showing up tonight for the $20 tournament. It is a very fun tournament. Even if you are an experienced player, it lets you try out some different strategies. And another thing that I like about it is they don't normally chop. They normally play it out. I know on Sunday they were paying $1,000 for first, $600 for second, and $400 for third. And there was no chopping involved. There were no deals made. They played it all the way out. So that was really good to see. And yeah, we are up to 43 entries in the $20 tournament. 43 entries. Still have an hour left of registration here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Oscar with the 9-7, making the call. Carlos with the ace-king. He's not going to be calling. He's going to be raising. And let's see how much it is. Yeah, so Carlos did announce 50. The dealer just making sure that it's not a string bet. Carlos cutting out 45, and normally whatever you put down is what your bet is. But he did announce 50, so verbal is binding. And if Carlos wanted to put those chips out one at a time, he could have. I think Oscar's going to call. Oscar likes to see flops. And he's not going to be in bad shape. Looks like he'll be in at 36% if he makes the call here against the 9-7. But more importantly, he'll have position in the hand as Carlos is making this play out of the small blind. And I think Oscar might be contemplating a 3-bet here. It's not going to work as Carlos has the ace-king. No, he just makes the call. All right, so ace-king, 9-7. Like I said, Carlos does have position. Doesn't have the best hand right now. Still doesn't have the best hand. And Carlos flopping a straight draw with the ace-king is going to check. Oscar checks behind, looking for a 9 or a 7. The 5 on the turn, and it goes check, check again. Oscar still needs a 9 or a 7, and he'll get the 7 on the river. So Carlos checking this ace-king all the way down. Is he going to bet now that he has the worst hand? Let's see. Yeah, Carlos is putting out a bet. Oh, it's basically a pot-sized bet of 115. Going to make it difficult for Oscar to call, considering he has less than $300 in his stack, and he's already rebought once. He did hit a pair, though. He is verifying the amount that it is 115, and he makes the call. So if Carlos would have bet on the flop, Oscar would have folded the 9-7, but instead Carlos decides to check all the way to the river and then put out a bet. Yeah, so Carlos not going to like the way he played that hand. Well, as a matter of fact, he doesn't like the way he played the hand because he lost the hand. It's kind of funny because players think that if they win a hand, they played the hand good, and if they lost the hand, they played the hand bad, but that's not always the case. You can play a hand bad and still win. I see it happen a lot at the poker table. You can also play a hand very good and still lose. That's one of the great things about poker. It's also one of the frustrating things about poker, where you play essentially perfect and then the luck factor involves. So Nuno with the king 3. We put it in the muck. Carlos just, Oscar just won last hand, and he's going to call with the king 4. Rock with the 4-5 of clubs makes the call. Sam might put in a squeeze play here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to try to squeeze out these players, making it 60. I could see Oscar calling pretty easy here. He just won last hand. He knows he has a bad hand, and he does make the fold, and
Free rolling for the, from the casino, remember?
that's probably gonna. I said that. I said that's probably gonna close the action, but Rock makes the call with the 4-5. Oh, and Sam flopping top two. Gut shot straight for Rock. Sam might check just because he has such a big, strong hand. No, Sam does bet. It's $100. I don't think Rock can call. He needs a 6 for a straight. And he finally does fold. Looks like we got some action in our chat. So shout out to River Rat. He says he's a member here at the Texas Card House. Is this the VPIP? Yeah. I didn't know what it was, but I saw 71% Oscar, and I'm going, this is going to be the VPIP. Like I said, Oscar likes to see flops. Nothing wrong with that. And we have Tony Stacks in at 50%, Rock in at 50%. Everybody in it at over 30%. So those are pretty big numbers for the VPIP. VPIP voluntarily put money in pot. So they either limp, straddle, or raise. They are not a small blind or not a big blind. The small blind and big blind are forced to put money in the pot. That's why the VPIP. And Oscar with the Jack 5 makes the call. Big fish raising it to 20. I think the size is a little too small. Either way, Carlos was going to call even a bigger sizing with the Ace 5. Vince Fan making the call with the King 10. And Oscar will also make the call. So 4 ways to the go, 4 ways to the flop, $82. Action will be on Vince Fan as he was in the small blind. Vince Fan was in the big blind. He will check. 7-7 deuce, 2 spades. Nobody catching anything. And it's going to go check around. To the turn we go. 6 of clubs on the turn. And now Vince Fan is going to posture at it. I don't think it's going to get through. As either Big Fish or Carlos will call him. And Big Fish is going to raise. As Vince Fan bet the 15 into the $82 pot. Seemed like a weak play, and it was. Okay, looks like the reader was wrong. It's Queen 10-6-3. The reader was wrong. Big Fish catching a flush draw, making the turn and hitting his flush. Let's see how big Big Fish bets. It's 182 in the middle. So the reader was wrong. I was wondering why Vince Fan bet with King High on the turn, but he actually had a pair of 10s. Pay no attention to the man behind the mirror. He only has 350 in his stack, so he's going to bet about half of it, 125. The clubs did miss. And Vince Fan has second pair here. The action was raised pre-flop to $20. Big Fish raised it to $20 pre-flop. And I think Vince Fan is going to make the crying call. So $20 raise pre-flop from Big Fish. As 3 people called, we went 4 ways to the flop. And Vince Fan does not know what to do here. Oh, he makes the fold and shows the 10. The whole table wanted Big Fish to show a bluff. But it was the opposite of a bluff. It was the Stone Cold Nuts. went to showdown. Rock in at 0% has not gone to showdown once. So essentially, the hands that Rock has won, he's either bet on the flop, turn, or river, and they have folded. So Rock has not had to show his cards thus far. Looks like some people away from the table. Yep. So both Nuno and Oscar on the smoke break. Their blinds do get posted. This is a stream table, and the way the software works is that they do have to get posted. So Tony Stacks raising it up to 25 with the 8-5 offsuit. Rock with the queens makes the 3-bet, and Tony Stacks calls with the 8-5 offsuit. So an ace or a king will slow down the action, but there is no ace, there is no king. Tony Stacks hit in an 8. So he's going to be calling the C-bet of the Rock here. Rock is going to make it like 100 maybe? Yeah, Rock makes it 100, and Tony Stacks immediately calls. So Tony Stacks looking for an 8 or a 5. And it's going to be a deuce, which is a great card for Rock, because now if Tony Stacks hits a 5, his 2-pair is not good, and Tony Stacks realized that. He immediately folds to the $200 bet. It looks like Los having to take a phone call, Carlos, so he will go outside to make the phone call, as the players are not allowed to be on their phones during the stream. And the reason why is this is a live stream. Oh, it's a live stream with a 15-minute delay. So as these hands are being dealt, we're on a 15-minute delay. This is raise first in, yeah, raise first in. Sam has definitely been leading the pack there. He's in at 44%. Oscar and Rock less than 10%. Oscar does like C flops. He doesn't raise pre-flop, but he does like to call it. Oh, we got a double straddle on here, folks. It's a double straddle, $10. Big Fish put in on the $10, and then Tony Stacks making it $20. Oh, it looks like everybody's calling. Action is on Finn's fan, but he is not at his seat. He had a king 3. Nuno with the ace 4. It looked like Oscar called out a turn there. And gets his $10 back and puts his $10 back on. So a pair of queen 9s and 2 players with suited connectors. Oh, Tony Stacks with the 3 deuce. Tony Stacks with the 3 deuce of hearts. Put it on the squeeze play. Everybody called the $20 straddle. Tony Stacks had the $20 straddle. Everybody just called, nobody raised. So he figured that nobody has a strong hand, and nobody has a super strong hand, but that's not going to stop Rock from calling with his suited queen jack of spades. Nuno might come along too with his suited ace. Nuno actually with the best hand right now. How much does Oscar have in his stack? Yeah, Oscar's already counting out the chips. So Nuno thinking about it. I don't think he's folding. And right as I say that, Oh, yeah, he makes the call. I thought that was a stack of green. I think this is going to bring along Oscar, as he likes to see flops. He does have a pretty hand at 9-7 of hearts, and he is closing off the action. So Tony Stack's thinking, why did I raise? Tony Stack put on the double straddle in for $20. 4 people called the $20, and then Tony Stack decided to make it 145. And basically everybody called. There was another Queen Jack involved. I think it was Carlos. He folded, but everybody else called. And it's coming 9-7-6, 2 spades. Rock flopping a flush. Oscar flopping 2 pair. I think we're going to see somebody go all in, and I think that somebody is Oscar. Oscar going all in. Rock will make the immediate call, and Oscar's going to need a 9 or a 7. A 6 will give him some more outs, but right now he needs a 9 or a 7. 3 outs. Yes, 3 outs. Eight on the turn and deuce on the river. So the Queen Jack suited will win the $1,200 pot. And I think that'll do it for Oscar, as this was his second buy-in of the night, but we'll see if he comes back. Huge pot going to Rock. And I believe he was in the process of getting a massage. Looks like Tony Stacks is putting out the strato, so these are our winners so far of the night. Yeah, you can see Oscar down $900. So Sam up $750, Nuno up $300, Finn's fan in for 2 buy-ins, but making the second buy-in work. He's up almost $300, Carlos. And then Rock finally getting out of the hole. Rock finally getting out of the hole with that big pot. Tony Sachs with a $20 straddle. So I'm here at the Texas Card House, but I'm basically in a very back room away from the tables. We are on a 15-minute delay, but I'm still pretty much on the opposite side of the building from where the tables are going. And there is a bunch of yelling that I could hear through the headset, and it's from that $20 tournament. Like I said, it's a very, very fun tournament, and I can hear the players having a lot of fun, because literally I hear them across the room through the headset. I have a headset. Both my ears are covered, kind of like the same headset the dealer has there. So I can hear them across the room, and I'm in my own separate room as well. So these guys are having a fun time in the tournament, which is actually great to hear. The ace-10 of Finn's fan with the best hand. I think he's going to bet it here. Second diamond coming on the turn. Does anybody have diamonds? Nobody has diamonds. So he's going to bet it here, and everybody will fold. Yes, Rocky is still getting his massage. So winning $1,000, getting a massage. Only here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. We are located in Edinburg, Texas. Kind of like Edinburgh, Scotland, but there's no H at the end. Edinburg, Texas. Part of the Rio Grande Valley. Just over 200 miles directly south of San Antonio. A couple of the big cities in the area: McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville, South Padre Island. I was going to say Weslaco as well. the Westlaco ladies softball team, winning state last month. So congratulations to them as they won the 6A title. That's the biggest classification here in Texas. They did win the 6A title, their first state championship ever for the city of Westlaco. So congratulations to them. And that's also a real good highlight that you can watch. We had Eric Molina, the drummer boy, play on the stream on Wednesday night, and I mentioned that if you have a chance to watch his boxing highlights, as he did fight for the heavyweight championship of the world against Wilder, Dante Wilder. So Wilder versus Molina, mentioned to watch those highlights, and somebody came up to me here today at the card house earlier before the stream started, and they said, "Hey, I watched the highlights and he rocked Wilder." I'm all like, "Yeah, I know he did." So now, if you are, if you want to watch a great comeback from the Westlaco girls softball team, you can Google that Westlaco state championship. They were playing, I believe, Waco Midway, and they were losing 9-3 going into the 7th and final inning, and they were essentially down to their last inning, and they made the comeback and won it in style. It was a walk-off grand slam home run to win the state title. All right, nobody with an ace, nobody with a king. Pocket tens, no, pocket nines. I was going to say pocket nines will win the hand, but that's not the case, as Finn's fan has a queen. And Finn's fan's a little feisty today, especially with Tony Stacks. He just won that hand against Tony Stacks, and he's chirping a bit. Yeah, so Wednesday stream, the highlight you wanted to watch was Wilder versus Molina for the heavyweight. And then tonight's stream, the city of Westlaco, part of the Rio Grande Valley, and those they won the state championship in 6A here in Texas last month against Waco Midway. Came back in the 7th inning. They do play 7 innings in softball. A walk-off grand slam to win it. All right, we do have a player. Looks like we do have a player coming in to replace Oscar. Oh, actually, Oscar said he is coming back, so the player will go to seat 3. All right, they are inputting seat 4's information on there. We'll see who it is. You should see the graphics, and there it is. Graphics. It's going to be Ting. Ting, T-I-N-G. So he's in for 500. I think it's his first time on the stream as well. So everything's the same. This is a normal table here at the Texas Card House in regards to it is $12 an hour to play. So it's just like any other table, but you have the chance to come out on YouTube. I know YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. I know there's some people watching on Facebook. So Ting folded his first hand. And much like Oscar, I don't think I've played with Ting before, so don't have much information on him. We'll see if we can figure him out. Like I said, I hadn't played with Oscar before, but I figured out pretty quickly he likes to see flops. Four, 3-3, open-ended straight draw for Rock, and he's going to check. Nuno checks behind as well. Rock looking for a 7, deuce, 5, or 6. It's going to be the queen of diamonds. Does he take a stab at the pot? There's over $100 in the pot. As Nuno raising it pre-flop with the ace, 9 of clubs. And it looks like Rock will take a stab at it. I think this is going to work. And does. So I believe we have Tony Stacks. It's going to be added on. Looks like we have some action in the chat. All right. Can you tell the production team to show more of the players' action in a widescreen instead of just focusing on the board? All right. We'll definitely note that. So there are, I believe, 5 cameras set up in the room, and normally when the action is going on, they do focus on the board, but River Rat asking to focus on the players, which I kind of agree with, to be honest with you. Like if a player is bluffing, you want the camera to kind of zoom in on them. That way you can see if you can pick up any tells. So it looks like Tony Stacks added on 500. And Tony Stacks put it on a $10 button straddle. Is it 10 or 20? It looks like more than 10. Let's see what the dealer announces. It's 20. $20 button straddle for Tony Stacks. Action will be on Carlos as they are taking care of Tony Stacks add-on. He's added on 500. Rock making the call with the Queen 9. He had $5 out there, so wanted to defend his big blind. And Nuno will also make the call. Let's see what Nuno has. Nuno has, the 4-3. And Tony Stacks is just getting everything squared away with his add-on there. He's going to check his option. So action will be on Rock, who has the best hand right now. Queen 10-6, 2 clubs. Tony Stacks now taking the lead. Nuno with the 4-3. So Nuno bets. Tony Stacks immediately calls him, and Rock has a gut shot straight draw, so he will bet. And I'm pretty sure Nuno is done with this hand. He didn't think anybody had anything. He bet, and both players called him. So, and right as I say that, he picks up a straight draw. So Nuno bet with nothing, picks up an open-ended straight draw, and now bets, and it works. All right, so it looks like Oscar is indeed done for the night. And the reason why is we were making sure that we did have a seat open. They were holding the seat for Oscar. Ting wanted to sit in seat 2, and he will slide over, and we will have a full table for the first time tonight. It is a $500 minimum buy-in. The buy-ins on the stream tables, that's the only thing different. I mentioned it earlier that everything's exactly the same. Well, sorry, I lied. The minimum buy-in will be the 100 bigs. So we do stream on Wednesday nights a 1-3 game, and we play 1-3 every day here at the Texas Card House. The minimum buy-in on a normal table is $100. the minimum buy-in on the stream table is $300. So same deal with the 2-5. Whenever the 2-5 plays, if it is not streamed, the minimum buy-in will be 200, and on the stream table it's 500. Oh, looks like we got El Jefe in the house. Don Neto coming in for 500. The myth, the legend, the man. So first hand with every seat taken tonight, $10 straddle under the gun from Finn's Fan. And it's going to be on seat 1, Nuno, who makes the call. Ting coming in for the first time. Rock in the small blind. They didn't scan his cards right, so he rescanned them, and he's going to be folding. Sam completing the $5, and now action is on the straddler, Finn's Fan. Let's see if he puts in a move. We still haven't seen their cards because the cards of Rock didn't scan properly, but we got them scanned properly, so now the computer catching up as the dealer does pause the action. So Nuno with the 7s, Ting with the King 7. And you can see we never saw what Rock had. Let's see what Finn's Fan has here, because he is thinking about raising, or was thinking about raising. Oh, no, he does check. Okay. Finn's Fan with the 8 deuce. Okay, he was never thinking about raising. Best hand right now, pocket 7's Nuno, followed by the King 7 of Ting. And it's going to be a 9 high flop, 2 hearts. Nuno's going to be betting here, I think, with the 7s, only 1 overcard. He bets 30, and that should do it. No, Ting making the call, so maybe, I know there was an issue with the card reader picking up Rock's hand, so maybe that's true with Ting's hand. Maybe he doesn't have the King 7, because the $30 call, to be honest with you, doesn't make any sense. The ace coming on the turn. I think Nuno's going to check now that he got called, and does. Let's see what Ting does. Ting bets 40. So if Ting indeed does have King 7, this is a bluff, as there was $100 in the pot. Oh, Nuno raising it to 100. So he doesn't think Ting has anything. Let's see what Ting does. Like I said, I don't think he has a King 7. I think maybe the card reader picked it up wrong, and he does fold. And we are changing out the dealer. Normally we change him out every hour, but it looks like Jonathan doing 2 hours, and now they are changing out the dealers. So 2 hours into the stream, halfway through, Sam leading the way with $740 on top. Finn's Fan, $500. Nuno, $440. Carlos, $221. Rock was in the hole early on, but he's finally out of it. Don Neto just got here. He has seen one hand, hasn't played it, so he is even. Big Fish down, but only $38. Ting losing $85 at last hand. And Tony Stacks in for almost 1,000, or down almost 1,000, $957. As we have, looks like Alex Sinaloa tapping in, and he is your new dealer. And we have a button straddle from Rock. Yeah, it's going to be $10 for Sam to go. He makes the call. Finn's Fan halfway in, calling the other 5. Nuno with the 9-5 suit at the Dolly Parton, working 9 to 5. Nuno makes the fold. There he is, Don Neto. He makes the fold. And Carlos has 7, so he's calling. I would like to see a raise, but he's just calling. I think the reason why he didn't raise here is because looks like he's having a late dinner. 6-4-4, 2 clubs. I was gonna say Carlos is probably gonna bet here. So here's kind of a tell I notice on a lot of players. If somebody is eating at the table and they're betting, they normally have it. And it kind of makes sense because they are enjoying their meal. So if they're doing something to not enjoy their meal, then they're serious. So normally, at least from my experience, if a player is eating at the hand and they're betting, normally they have it. So action will be on Ting, seat 2. I don't think the card reader picked up his card. No, the card reader did pick up his cards. So Alex, he's used to dealing the stream table, and he knows exactly where to place the cards. There is a skill, as opposed to just randomly pitching the cards. He's aiming at the little circle there for the RFID chip in the cards to get scanned properly. Tony Stacks with the $25 raise, Jack 6 of hearts. Nobody has anything to call him. Nuno might defend his $5. Nuno's the big blind. He has $5 in, so it's $20 more for him to call, but he does not. Tony Stacks picking up a small pot. So $10 button straddle from Finn's fan. Raise first in. Sam leading the category, but Tony Stacks right behind him. Tony Stacks has been mixing it up pre-flop a lot with his raises, and he's done so 28% of the time. Action will be on Nuno. Button straddle. Action starts to the left. Nuno with the 3-2 into the muck. Oh, Ting with a good hand here. Just calls, though. King, queen suited. Tony Stacks also calling with the suited cards. Carlos has suited cards as well. And what does Finn's fan have? Finn's fan has the best hand with the ace, and he's going to be raising to 50 more. Ting should be calling. He might 3-bet here. King, queen suited. Very nice hand. Ting knows that, and Ting will be making the call. Tony Stacks, I think, is going to come in. He's down for the day, so he wants to be involved in pots. Yeah, I think Tony Stacks coming in. I think that's going to bring in Carlos. So Finn's fan is pretty much going to get a call from all the limpers. He's not going to like it, but he actually has the best hand right now. %. You can see Tony. Well, actually, Ting with the best percentage right now. I believe a couple of aces were folded, or at least one ace was folded. But he flops top 2 pair. So top 2 for Finn's fan. Flush draw for Carlos. We'll see if Carlos bets it here. Remember what I said. When a player's eaten and they're bet, normally they have it. So Finn's fan will put on the continuation bet. It's going to be 110. And Carlos might raise. Let's see what Carlos does. So this is the camera angle that we got in the comments earlier, as we'll try to get it on the players' faces. 9 on the turn changes nothing. Is Finn's fan going to bet really big here? 462 in the middle. I think he's going to bet 325 is my guess. Bets 225. I think Carlos is going to still call. Both players over 1,000 in their stack. Carlos knows if he hits his heart, it's good. And he does call. So Carlos looking for a heart, and Carlos gets his heart. If he checks, Vince Fan is checking behind. Carlos makes his hand. Let's see if we can get the camera on Carlos as we just see the board here. And Carlos is betting 325. Vince Fan is left with the decision here. He does have the 7 of hearts. Oh, Vince Fan calls. Vince Fan is not going to be happy. Carlos showing the queen 9 of hearts. And Vince Fan mucking in disgust. All right, let's see. Let's see if we get a wide angle here or a zoomed in angle from Carlos. One of the players at the table asking Eric what he called with, and he immediately says, it doesn't matter. I mean, I called with not a flush. Little, there's the wide shot. I don't know if the player who asked Tony Stacks was kind of Needle and Eric just because Finn's fan was Needle and Tony Stacks earlier. So I think that was just a jab that Tony Stacks threw at Eric. He saw that he lost the pot and decided to throw a little jab. Is that a black chip out in front of Los's stack? Yeah, I think that's a black chip. He needs to pull that back. There he goes. He pulls it back. He sees it. It was kind of blending into the felt. Ace-Jack for Ting just makes the call. So Nuno with the $10 straddle on the button. Ting flopping top 2 pair. Nuno flopping bottom pair. Ting is going to check. Nuno immediately checks behind him. 3 of diamonds on the turn. Let's see if Ting starts building the pot here. Maybe 20 bucks. No, Ting checks again. And Nuno's not falling into the trap. 9 of diamonds on the river. Will Ting bet? 2 pair. We just saw Aces Up lose last hand. Aces Up will win this hand. He's going to bet $20. And Nuno might just call him out of curiosity, as I don't think Nuno's ever played with Ting before either, but Nuno does make the disciplined fold. Sometimes you do pay for information at the table. So $20 tournament going on right now here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Tomorrow we have the deep stack. It's $200 to enter. It starts at 2 p.m. $2,000 to first guaranteed. $5,000 overall in the prize pool. $50K starting stack. Live straddle 20 announced. Looks like an under the gun straddle from Tony Stacks. So action will be on Carlos. And I think Carlos is, yeah, okay. Ace-Jack for Nuno. Just saw Ting win with it last hand. Let's see if Nuno raises here. He should be raising. No, he just calls. Don Neto coming in. Big Fish has the 10-9. He comes in, and Tony Stacks checks his options. So we have $100 in the middle here. Ace-Jack out in front right now. And it's going to come 9 high. Rainbow. Big Fish with the 9 decides to check it. I don't think anybody's going to put in a bet here. It does go check around. So Big Fish looking for a 9 or a 10. Big Fish still has the best hand. Don Neto picking up a flush draw. And he's going to bet at it. There's 50 in the pot. He's going to bet probably about 40. And he bets exactly 40. Immediate call from Big Fish. And Tony Stacks with the open-ended straight draw makes the call as well. So what would be a spicy river here? A spicy river would be a 6 of diamonds. It'll give Tony Stacks his straight and Don Neto his flush. So 6 of diamonds, hit the like button if you want to see the 6 of diamonds. Oh, it's the king. Neto makes his hand, though. He had the 2 overcards. And looks like he's going to bet again. And he's going to bet 60 this time. He bets 60, and Big Fish is going to call him as he doesn't think Don Neto has the king. And he gets the bad news. You can see the wince from Big Fish. And looks like Big Fish didn't like the beat he took. He is cashing out. Pretty strong move there. He gets drawn out on it. He says, you know what? I'm out. So Don Neto with the win. And Big Fish with the small loss tonight. I think he was in for 500 and looked like he left with over 300. We did have a waiting list, and the seat will be immediately filled. So it looks like 11:32 will get the new player in. I think he could come in as the small blind because of the stream. And yes, that is confirmed. He can come in as a small blind. So normally you wouldn't be able to do it on a regular cash game, but like I said, since this is a stream game, it is possible. You can also come in on the small blind in this exact scenario in a tournament. Normally in a tournament, the only position you cannot come into is the small blind. But in this exact position, if a player is sitting down into the small blind and that seat has just become open, if the player just busted and somebody immediately fills the seat and that player's the small blind, the player can come in that one particular case. And Vagabond coming in hot as he has an ace. Everybody limped. Oh, Tony Stacks with the kings. So Vagabond, like I said, had the ace. He saw everybody just call the $5, decided to put in the little squeeze play. And Tony Stacks with a pretty nice size in here as he makes it 50 more for Vagabond to call. And I don't think Vagabond's going to be able to fold. And he makes the call. So kings for Tony Stacks. And the flop will come 7 high. So that should end the hand as Tony Stacks will be putting in a small C-bet, I think. Yeah, it's only $50, but Vagabond's not falling for it. So now he will be the button. Like I said, the reason he was able to come in on a small blind was this is a stream table and the way the software works. And there was essentially no hand missed either. Big Fish got up and he immediately took the seat. So it didn't mess up the button. It didn't mess anything up, which is why you can do that in a tournament. You can come in on the small blind. The only time you can do that if the player just busted out of that seat and it gets immediately filled, that player can actually come in for the small blind. That is a WSOP rule, a TDA rule. Don Neto, King Jack, he had it earlier and won with it. Now he will be raising with it, $40 raise. Vagabond, the traveler, the roamer, he makes the fold. Carlos with the suited 9-6. Thought about it, but made the fold. Rock with the 9s. Makes the call. Was this a quadruple straddle that we had? Yeah. So $10 straddle from Rock, $20 straddle from Sam, and Finn's fan put out the 40 out there. He wants to raise, but he'll check. So I thought Don Neto was raising the 40, but he actually just called the triple straddle. king right on the flop, ace right on the flop. Nobody has an ace, but looks like Rock will represent the ace. And this is going to work, I think. It does work, and Rock shows the nines. He did have the best hand. So he just had a triple straddle last hand, and looks like Tony Stack is putting on the button straddle. Let's see who's up, who's down. All right, Carlos in over $1,000 after he hit the flush on the river against FinceFan, and that took FinceFan from the positive to the negative. So now FinceFan is back in the hole. Sam, your second biggest winner. Nuno also winning tonight. Rock finally getting traction. Don Neto, he's played only a couple of hands and he's already up. Rock with the Jack 7 of clubs coming in. Don Neto just makes the call. Vagabond, let's see if he raises here. He does, looks like 70. This is a good size raise, as there was a $10 straddle, and 3 people limped the $10. So there's already 40 in there, and he's making it 70. So this is a good raise. I think it's going to work. And let's see. No. Don Neto, not done with the hand yet. Now keep in mind, the ace-10 does have position, and he's going to hit an ace. Don Neto hit an 8, so I think he's going to get another street of value here, as he's probably going to put out maybe about 100. No, he puts out 75. Don Neto's going to be calling that. There's the call. So to the turn we go. Neto looking for a king or an 8. Oh, and he hits his king. Does he bet? No, he checks. Let's see if Vagabond slows down, and I don't think he's slowing down. He bets 175. And Neto might be raising here. How much does he have in his stack? Yeah, Neto puts it all in. And Vagabond makes the call. So he's going to need a 4, an ace, or a 10. And he hits the 4. Aces and 4s with a 10 kicker. So he called pretty quickly. I think he had just determined that he had the ace, he liked his kicker, and he was pretty much going to die with his hand. And he hits the 4 to make aces and 4s with a 10 kicker. And he has Don Neto covered. So Vagabond with the $702 win. There, the pot's $1,372, but essentially half that money is his. So when it's all said and done, he wins $702, which is, of course, the area code for Las Vegas. The area code down here, by the way, is 956. If you ever watch TikToks, there's a lot of puro 956. We got Gabriel Salinas. I believe he's referring to this hand. Yikes. And yikes for Don Neto, as he got it all in with 2 pair, but then loses to a better 2 pair on the river. Ting coming in with the 10-8 of hearts. And looks like everybody just calling the $10 straddle so far. Sam might put in a squeeze play here, and right as I say that, that's what he does. FinceFan immediately calls with the 4s. Feels like Sam is trying to squeeze people out, and he is correct. And it looks like Ting will also be calling. He's got the pretty 10-8 of hearts. All right, which is your favorite hand? As we almost have $200 in the pot. Right now, the 4's in front, and the 4's are still in front. Jack, 6, 5, 2 hearts. Checked around. Heart on the turn? Oh, 8 on the turn, so now Ting takes the lead. Hitting the 8. Let's see if he places a bet, and he is. 190 in the pot. He's probably going to bet about 75. It's a good bet. There is some straight draws on the board, and as a matter of fact, Finn's fan has one of those straight draws, needs a 4 or a 7. And he's thinking about it here, and it looks like he's going to make the call. So he's looking for a 4 or a 7 to come to retake the lead. And it is a deuce. I think it's just going to go check, check. I don't think Ting's going to try to get thin value, and he does not. So the 8s are good for Ting. That is his first pot of the night, his first pot on the stream, so congratulations to him. And the dealer will scramble up the cards. Let's see what this percentage is. It's the VPIP. Sam all the way down at 29%. That's actually a good number, but Rock in at 52. So basically everybody between 30 and 50% on the VPIP. Ting has been here for 12 hands, and he has voluntarily placed money in half the times. He voluntarily placed money in with the 10-8 of hearts. Then he called a raise, and then he hit an 8 on the turn, and that won him that pot. Finn's fan with the ace-king of diamonds, making it 35. And Nuno calling with the 5-3 of diamonds. Ting makes the fold. Vagabond with the 9-7 of diamonds. So everybody with diamonds, it's going to be very crazy if diamonds come out. Carlos with the ace-jack. Normally it would be a good hand, but the ace-king has it dominated. And even Rock's calling the raise. He straddled on the button. Yeah, he straddled on the button, so he's coming in with the 4 deuce. I don't think diamonds are coming. There's too many diamonds out. And the ace comes right away. This is going to get Carlos in trouble. Finn's fan puts out the check. Oh, little trappy. And looks like it's going to work as Nuno's thinking about betting bottom pair here. And yes, indeed, Nuno is reaching for chips. 177 in the middle. Looks like a $60 bet. Finn's fan is going to be check raising here, especially with Carlos making the call. This isn't a bad call from Carlos. Normally, an ace-jack is good here, but he is about to fall into the trap from Finn's fan. Oh, is he going to raise? So things working out perfectly here for Finn's fan. Does he just call or does he go all in? He goes all in. He's seen enough. And Carlos is going to call thinking that he's good, and he's going to be surprised when he sees the king kicker. Nuno's like saying, "Why did I bet? I literally just threw $60 away." And he will throw his cards away. Carlos will make the call. And they are going to run it twice maybe? No, just once. So some revenge for Finn's fan as he lost the big pot earlier against Carlos when he had 2 pair and Carlos hit a flush on him. He once again has 2 pair and has Carlos outkicked. So a $1,277 pot for Finn's fan. Very, very nice check on the flop as he raised it pre-flop to 35, picked up 4 callers. There was 177. There was 177 in the middle, and when Nuno bet and Carlos called, it inflated the pot. And he had 500 in his stack. He said, let's do this.
Keep poking it. Keep poking it. Somewhere on there.
I don't know.
Be like, come just give me your money back. It's all right.
So they're actually trying to figure out who won the bigger pot between Finsfan and Carlos. I believe they've played two of the biggest pots of the night, so they're trying to figure out who's ahead in the exchange. Tony Sachs coming in with the 8-3 of clubs. Carlos with the ace, also making the call. Sam is going to be raising here. Sam has position, so even if he gets called, he's not that worried. He's going to be making it 35 with the sixes. I don't think anybody really has a hand to call, but that hasn't stopped the players before. And Nuno with the 9-8 makes the call. Ting with the Jack-7 looks like he's coming along. So I'm sure Sam is a little surprised he's getting all these calls, but at the same time, he's going to have position. And if he has a 6, he's going to get paid. So Sam looking for a 6. You can see Rock actually has the best percentage right now, as I believe a 6 was folded. Oh, there's a 6. 2 clubs. Tony Sachs has clubs. Tony Sachs also has a straight draw. Straight / flush draw versus a set versus an open-ended straight draw for Nuno. And we're going to have a big pot here, folks. How much does Tony Sachs have in his stack? So Tony Sachs, Ting flopping top pair. Like I said, if Sam hits a 6 here, he's going to get paid. And Tony Sachs is calling for sure. Might even raise here. A 5 makes him a straight. A club makes him a flush. And all his chips are going in the middle. Sam is definitely calling, might re-raise. Does he have everybody covered? He's getting the count, acting like he's weak, acting like he doesn't want to call here, trying to bring somebody else. So he's just calling here. He's not re-raising. If he was going to re-raise, I think he would have re-raised immediately. The exact count being 455 is, I believe, what was announced. 483 is what we're showing in. Yeah, there it is, 455. So what's Sam going to do, as this pot is going to be at least over 1,000, maybe 2,000 when it's all said and done. Nuno has over 1,000 in stack, and he has an open ender. Needs a 5, needs a 10. Ting with top pair is way behind. Only 4% chance to win right now. And Sam is thinking, am I going to raise or am I just going to call? I think he's just going to call. He does make the call. And I think this is going to bring along Nuno, as he has an open-ended draw. Like I said, when Sam didn't immediately raise, I thought he was just going to call to try to bring more players in. And you can see he's going to call here. Nuno's going to call. It's $375 more. And what does Ting do? How much does Ting have in his stack? Yeah, I don't think Ting can call. Nuno has over 1,000 in his stack, so he can afford to make the call here and still be okay. He doesn't like that he doesn't have any clubs, but he's still making the call. I think Ting has to fold. And yes, he does. He makes a good fold. He knows that somebody has something better than top pair. All right. So a club for Tony Sachs, a 5 or a 10 for Nuno. And Nuno hits the 10 right away, making the nuts. I don't think Sam is folding here. Sam cannot fold a set here. He doesn't like it, but he's calling. So Nuno immediately hits his card. Still have outs. Tony has outs. Sam has outs. And it's going to be a deuce. Nuno, $3,000 pot with the 9-8 offsuit. Huge pot. So Rock winning a big pot earlier, getting a massage. Nuno also winning a big pot while he's getting a massage. The saying in Spanish Es que padre vida. Essentially translated to what a life. So the dealer counting out Nuno's chips as Sam has him covered. So Sam will pay him off here. So it looks like Fletcher in the chat was pulling for a club. He wanted to see Tony Stacks win that hand. And Tony Stacks is going to call it a night. And just as I say that, it looks like somebody said, "Hey, I have Cash App." So yeah, okay. So Tony is not done. Tony was out of money, so Tony thought he was done, but somebody at the table said, "Hey, I have Cash App." So Tony Stacks not done yet. Found somebody with Cash App. So I believe our registration has closed for the free roll. If it is not, it's pretty close. Let's give an update on the $20 free roll. $10 button straddle announced. And let's see what we got here. Yeah, so a total of 48 entries tonight. A total of 48 entries into tonight. Registration has closed. 48 entries, exactly half the field remaining. 24 players left. It is 9:32 right now here in South Texas. So we had 89 add-ons. There was 89 add-ons. It is a $20 add-on to get you 10,000 in chips. Right now, the average stack is 77,000, so about 25 bigs. Yeah, about 27 bigs. The blinds right now are at 1,500, 3,000. Average stack 77. The prize pool $2,000. First place going to be taking home $765. Second place $465. Third place. The top 5 spots are paying as we had almost 50 entries into tonight's $20. The min cash will be 5th place at $200. So you get to 10x your money by getting 5th place. So Sam can only laugh as he had a set of 6s and pretty much played the hand perfect. Like I said earlier, you could play the hand perfect and still wind up losing, but I think Sam played that hand real good. Everybody just called the $10 straddle, and he had the 6s. He raised it on the button. Everybody called. He flops a set. Somebody goes all in, and he just calls to trap. He gets 2 people in his trap, and one of them wiggles out. No straddle this hand. Action will be on Tony Stacks under the gun. Tony Stacks in for 3 buy-ins tonight, I believe. Tony Stacks with the Jack 4 of hearts. Carlos.
That was the balance.
It is balanced. You got one, he got one, I've got one.
I haven't got any.
It's balanced.
Oh, Nuno with the jacks. has over $3,000 in the stack, and he's going to be raising it up to, is that 40? Yeah, he makes it 40. Nobody has a hand. Nobody can call. And the dealer just making sure that the small blind gets his change. There you go. It was 2-5. Folded around to him on the button. He made it 40 with the jacks. None of the blinds had anything to call him with. And here are the big winners. Nuno in for 1,000, and he is up over 2,000. His stack is in at just over 3,000. Vagabond joined us late, but won the big pot against Don Neto. So he's up over 500. Carlos up exactly 500, even after losing the big pot to Finn's fan. That big pot got Finn's fan in the green. Rock is also in the green, and everybody else in the red. The reddest being the big blind right now, Tony Stack. He's in for 3 buy-ins. And Sam down 500 after taking that bad beat with the set of 6s. All right, Nuno just had jacks, and now Carlos has jacks. And Carlos, there's a $10 button straddle, so Carlos is making it 60. Nuno with the $10 button straddle. No, it was Ting putting out the $10. Nobody has anything, so back-to-back jacks and back-to-back raise and takes. I believe this is the raise first in, yep. So you can see Sam is at the top of that. Tink still hasn't been the first one to raise, but he's only played the least amount of hands between everybody. He's played 17 hands. But Sam, second place right now, raise first in, is Vagabond. Well, he's only played 9 hands. Looks like we have a button straddle from Vagabond. And Tony Stacks will be making the call. Jack 9 suited for Sam. Think he's going to raise here. At least 60. And he makes it 60. Jack 9 of spades. Nuno with the 10s. He will be making the call. Ting folding. Vagabond also into the muck, and I think we're going to go heads up. Yep. Jack 9 of spades versus the 10s of Nuno. Queen high. Sam flopping a gut shot, so if he catches a 10, he'll catch a straight. Needs a 10 or needs a jack to take the lead. And Sam bets 80 and gets an immediate fold. An immediate fold from Nuno. I thought that Nuno might call at least once, but he folded the 10s immediately. Looks like we have another straddle, so this is actually essentially a 5-10 game. The games in Texas normally play bigger than most casinos, and that is true here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. So even though the blinds might be 1-2 or 1-3, those games are actually playing closer to a 2-5, and these blinds are 2-5, and it's playing closer to a normal 2-10 at any Vegas casino, a normal 5-10. So both players with 5-6. Jack 4. Whoever bets at this pot will win. Both of them hit in a 6. Little $10 bet, $10 call. Ace coming on the river. Oh, big bet coming from Tony Stacks.
Only 'cause it's a good ball.
That's a good bet. Damn, we chop.
So $50 bet, and Vagabond immediately called. He didn't think he had a jack, and he was right. They each have a 6. So after it's all said and done, they each make less than 500. They each make less than $5.
This is ridiculous. Okay, never mind. Beer's coming. I'll make it better.
So over 48 players in tonight's tournament. Tomorrow the tournament starts at 2 p.m. It's going to be a $200 buy-in. Starts at 2 p.m. $2,000 for first. 50K start and stack. 30-minute levels. $10 straddle. Ting calling with the suited king. Tony Stacks calling with the 8-5, the ocho cinco, and Rock making the raise to 60. Ting will be calling with his suited king, but Rock has a better suited king, king, queen of clubs, and looks like we'll be going heads up. One of these players looking for clubs, the other player looking for diamonds. Ting does not want to see a king. Ace coming on the flop. So Ting has a gut shot, needs a 3. I don't know if Rock is going to check.
So how you done it?
How am I down? I bought it for 2,000. Oh shit. I'm not down now.
And it looks like Rock makes the $60 bet. Ting might call, needing a 3 for a straight. He also has some backdoor diamonds. If Ting calls, Rock is going to shut down on the turn. Yeah. So Rock will be checking unless if he hits a king or a queen. I still think he checks with the ace on the board. A deuce. So now Ting takes the lead. Like I said, I think Rock is going to check. He put out the 60. He got called. He figures Ting has the ace. He does not, but Ting is ahead now. Hit into 2.
But on the stream, he's never gone up.
Is Rock still betting? Yeah, he's still betting 125. And that's going to work.
Not that a lot.
3,000 alone on the fucking PLOs.
That stream will get fun.
So nice play by Rock there. I thought he was going to shut it down once he got called on the flop.
Maybe like 1,500 down.
Maybe you should play PLO.
So tomorrow we got the $200 tournament. Sunday we run back the $20 tournament. And then on Monday we have the bounty tournament. So a little something for everybody. A lot of people like to play the bounty tournaments because if you knock somebody out, you immediately get paid. You don't have to worry about finishing in the top 10%. It's a $150 buy-in. $50 goes towards the bounty. Tournament is there in a week, so it does start at 6. It is a $2,500 guaranteed. And we do have a $10 button straddle coming up this hand. So action will be on Sam with the queens. It looks like Sam is going to raise. So Sam has been raising out of his blinds a lot. Most of the time he doesn't have it. Right now he has it. Oh, Ting with the 9-8. And Sam does not like that hand. Sam lost a $3,000 pot when Nuno hit a straight with his 9-8. So Ting now with the 9-8. See if he's able to take down the queens of Sam. Vagabond comes along with his ace. 150 in the middle. And it's going to come 3, 4, 5, 2 hearts. As Vagabond has a straight draw with a 6. And his ace is still live. Sam does slow down and check. And Vagabond is going to take a shot. It's a small bet. There's 150 in the pot, and he only bets 25. Sam might raise here. No, Sam just calls. And I think Ting is going to come along for $25. No, he doesn't. Yes, no. So Vagabond needing a 6 or an ace. A deuce also works. Oh, there's the queen for Sam. It's a heart. Vagabond does not have the ace of hearts. Sam checks again. And let's see, the river is going to be a jack. So Sam, I think, is finally going to bet here. He might just put out a small bet. There's $200 in the pot. He might just bet like 75, 55. No, he bets 100. And that's going to end the hand. He was hoping that his opponent had something better, but does not.
Comes down to that point, maybe.
What would it take to get to that point?
Well, if he goes all in, everyone. Oh,
If he goes all in,
There's the VPIP. Rock in at number 1, but everybody in between 30 and 50%. So these players are definitely mixing it up tonight. I think some of them have made some questionable calls pre-flop. But obviously everybody has their own playing style. So action on Ting, Jack 5 offsuit, Motown into the muck. I thought he was folding, but I think he was just scanning his cards. No? Yeah, okay, there you go. I thought he was folding, but he was scanning his cards. Vagabond calling with the 10-4. Tony Stacks with the ace-4. Gonna be raising here. Oh, Carlos with the Jack-10 offsuit coming along.
I've been getting punished all night.
Nuno with the ace-5 will make the call. And I think the Jack-5 and the 10-4 is going to fold. They do. So we will go 3 ways to the flop. You could see that Carlos with the Jack-10 is actually favored to win right now, as the ace-4 and ace-5 are sharing each other's outs. Tony Stacks was the pre-flop raiser, and he's just going to check. Jack-10, no, another king coming. So right now we are looking at a chop pot. No, right now actually the 5 is playing, right? 5s and 6s. Kings, king, ace, king, ace, 6-5. So right now the 5 is playing. And Carlos, okay. Carlos makes the fold. And if Nuno makes the call here, he's probably going to be chopping, but he does not. And is Tony Stack showing a 4 or an ace? What is he showing there?
I was not going to be up. I'm losing. You're winning. You would have won the hand. I was still going to be down, even if I would have won that hand.
Brace first in. Sam has pretty much been leading it all night. Next week is the week for the big one. $100 to enter. It's a $100 buy-in. You could walk away with $10,000. $10,000 for first guaranteed. The entire prize pool is $25K guaranteed. There is a $1,000 bonus for the player who bags the most. There's 12 different flights, and there's a $1,000 bonus for the player who enters the most. $10 straddle. Under the gun, straddle. Tony Stacks calling the 10. Let's see if Carlos raises with the ace-jack. Got burned by the ace-jack earlier when Finsfan had the ace-king. But he is going to make the raise. Looks like 55. Sammy Hagar. I can't drive 55. Sam with the Jack-10 making the call. Finsfan with the 5s. It is 55. It's a sign, bro. You got to call. And he does.
I love bluffs pocket eight.
And Tony Stacks is probably going to be calling. Vagabond's thinking about calling with his King Jack. Makes the fold. A little worried about Tony Stacks limping. And I don't think Tony Stacks is going to put in a 3-bet here. All right, so the pocket five's out in front right now. And second place is actually Jack 10, even though it's sharing the Jack with the ace. Flop is coming 9 high, 2 hearts. It's a good flop for the pocket fives to bet if they do check to him. Oh, Carlos with a big $200 bet. That's going to clear everybody out. I can't see the fives calling here. Carlos betting 200 into a $237 pot. And he's going to show the ace-jack. So nice play from Carlos there. So the first flight is Monday. This coming Monday, June the 24th. The first flight begins at 1 p.m. There will be 2 flights every day until Sunday. Sunday is day 2. So day 1A, Monday, 1 p.m. Then the second flight will be at 6 p.m. and there will be 2 different flights, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. A lot of opportunities to finish in the top 8%, because if you finish in the top 8%, you get to come back and play for $10,000. Nine, 6 of diamonds for Sam. There is a straddle, and he's going to be coming in for a raise. He makes it 45. Queen 7 of clubs. I don't think FinSfan can call, and he does fold. Ace Jack of Nuno. He's going to be coming. He's going to be calling. He's the one that put the $10 straddle on. So he's going to make the call, and it looks like we're going to go heads up to a flop. Sam, 9, 6 of diamonds. Flops top 2 pair. You can see he has a 97% chance to win right now. And he's hoping that Nuno has something, but Nuno has nothing. Nuno folded 10s earlier to Sam's aggression, and now he just has ace high, so I don't see him calling, and he does not. So Sam was hoping that Nuno either had spades or a big pair. He put out a big bet, but Nuno had none of it and made the fold. So next week here, every day we have 2 tournaments. Next week, every day. There is a 1 p.m. flight and a 6 p.m. flight. $100 buy-in. There's also a $1,000 bonus for the player who bags the most. A $1,000 bonus for the player who enters the most. And we did have 2 players last month. Each of them entered more than 30 times. Sam continuing on with his aggression, raising it with the Jack 10 of clubs. Jack 10 offsuit. Did somebody say all in? No. Oh, Ting did go all in. Sam might gamble here, so Ting, first time playing on the stream, making a move with the Queen 9. And if he gets a call, he doesn't think he's ahead, but he's actually ahead here. So Sam trying to calculate the odds and doesn't feel like he's getting the right price, and he'll make the fold. I kind of want to see Ting show it here, but he does not. He saw Sam had been raising a lot, and he figured Sam did not have a strong hand, and he figured correctly. So Nuno up just under 2,000. Carlos also winning 650. Vagabond coming in late, but he is up almost 500. Rock and Finsfan in the green, and everybody else in the red. As Tony Stacks is in for 3 bullets. So we had him. Keep in mind, if you add everything up, it doesn't add up properly, and the reason why is because some players lost and didn't rebuy. Doneto was in for 500. He lost, so those stats aren't showing. We had Oscar. He was in for 900. Those stats aren't showing. Pocket threes for Sam. He's been raising a lot, and he will continue to raise, making it 35. Finsfan next to act. Calls him with a 5-6 offsuit. Oh, here we go. It's kind of funny because the table was just talking about this, that nobody has shown aces tonight. And now we have Vagabond with the aces. He's going to be 3-betting here. And it's going to be 170? Is that right? No, 180. I think the sizing is too big. I think I don't think Sam is going to call. I don't think Rock is going to call. Rock wants to call. Oh, Rock's making the call. That's gonna bring along Sam. No, that doesn't bring along Sam. So I think a 3's coming on the flop now that Sam folded. So aces versus 8s. Rock looking for an 8. And it's all spades. Both players with spades. So great flop for Vagabond. Does he check behind? I kind of like a check behind here because you smashed the board. No, he bets 150. I would have liked to see a check from him there, but he didn't want to get the aces cracked. So he essentially flops top pair, or he flopped an over pair with the nut flush draw, which is why you sometimes want to balance your range and check your strongest holdings. Also, you want to bet your weakest holdings. But he decided to go with the continuation bet. Didn't want to get tricky. Rock might call since he has the 8 of spades, but he finally makes the fold. And he's just going to show the ace of spades. There's the VPIP. Rock leading the way at exactly 50%. You can see he put the straddle on last hand and made the call with the pocket 8s. Sam in at the lowest, but he's still in at over 35%, so over a third of the hands. Very big VPIP here, folks, from all the players. $10 button straddle from Tony Stacks in seat 5. Action will be in the small blind. Carlos. 8-6 offsuit. Queen Jack of diamonds for Rock. He makes the call. Finsfan with the better jack also makes the call, and Vagabond on a little heater here. Had the aces last hand, has ace king this hand, and I think he's gonna make it like 150. He makes it 125. I think one of these players is gonna call. I don't know which one. Tony Stacks already folded, but I think either Rock or Finsfan is gonna call. And we have Rock. Maybe they're both going to call.
Yeah, they RG green.
If Vince Fan was suited, he would call for sure. It's kind of funny because each player has the other dominated. The Ace King has the King Jack dominated, and the King Jack has the Queen Jack dominated. I don't know if Vince Fan knows that the action's on him because it looks like he's daydreaming. Let's see if the dealer lets him know. I think maybe the dealer paused the action because we're still showing. No, the action is. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. He thought Sam had cards. Like I said, I didn't think he thought that the action was on him because he looked like he was daydreaming about the Miami Dolphins finally winning a playoff game. Did Tony Sex call with the 9-4, or is that graphic wrong? Because I didn't see him call. I know he's down for the stream, but I don't think he called. And I think that's what they're cleaning up. Tony Sex did not call. It looks like he would have flopped 2 pair. All right, there you go. They finally cleaned everything up. And 9-4-3, 2 hearts. I think it's going to check to Vagabond, and he's going to put out probably 200's the over-under, 200. Ooh, only 75. So big down bet. He does have the King of Hearts, and this might work. And right as I say that, Vince Fan makes the call. Vince Fan does not want to hit a king. Let's see if Vince Fan represents the heart if a heart comes. Vince Fan turns a straight draw. Needs a queen now for a straight. It goes check, check. And the river coming the ace of hearts. What does Vince Fan do? The action is on him. There was I think there was a $100 bet on the flop. I thought it was 75, but there was a $100 bet. He called the bet. It went check on the turn. Now the river has come out, and action is on Vince Fan. Vagabond's calling. He has the ace king, so Vince Fan is going to bluff, and it's not going to work. $425 is the bet from Vince Fan. I don't see the ace king folding here. He also has the king of hearts, which makes it less likely. It makes it less likely that he has a heart. I think Vagabond has to call, especially with the king of hearts in his hand. Plus the line really doesn't make sense, as Vince Fan pretty much just called the entire way. He called a raise pre-flop, called a raise on the flop, and now he's leading out, and he makes the call, and he is going to lose. Check out how big that pot is. Almost 1,500. 1,402. Vagabond winning exactly $777. Good old slot machine. And looks like we will have another dealer taking us home. Now, we did start about 7 o'clock. So normally the stream's 4 hours, which means we'll be ending around 11 o'clock. Normally we start at 6 o'clock. We do apologize if you're tuning in at 6 o'clock and did not see anything happening. We had a lot of people enter the $20 tournament today. And the tournament as well as the live stream were both scheduled to start at 6 o'clock. So they needed to seat all those players first and get that tournament going. And once that happened, then we were able to start the stream. So we did start the stream late, but we are going to be playing later. So instead of going to about 10 o'clock, we're going to be going to about 11 o'clock. $10 straddle from Vince Fan, as he just got caught bluffing, but he's still putting it into straddle. Action will be on seat 1. Nuno, the big winner of the night. They're just making sure that Ting is on seat 2, the dealer. And I think the last time this dealer was here, an hour ago, Ting was actually in seat 3. And his chips are stacked kind of a little weird there, kind of between seat 2 and 3. So the dealer was just confirming that he was in seat 2. And the reason for that is because of the reader, the RFID, the chip reader. He wants to make sure to toss the cards to the right circle. Ace Queen for Rock. He's going to make it 35. Nobody has anything to call. So we have a new dealer, and we have a raise and take on the first hand. So it looks like we got Chaos in the chat. I know he was on the chat on Wednesday. Normally he plays on the stream, but I think he's not in town right now. So still keeping up with the action here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Thank you for tuning in, Chaos, and thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you do hit that like button if you haven't done so. Jack 9 of clubs from Sam, and he's going to be raising. Looks like 45. There was a $10 straddle, so he was first to come in, and he's coming in with a raise. Jack Deuce of Hearts from Finn's Fan. I don't think he's calling. Ting making the fold, and does anybody have anything to call? Nobody has anything to call. So both hands, it's been a raise and take from the small blind from the dealer change. If you still haven't heard about the high hands here at Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, we have high hands Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. $100 every hour with rollovers, and those rollovers normally take effect. It is aces full of tens to qualify, and you must use both your hold cards. So that's why it rolls over. One, you have to make a full house. It's aces full of tens or better, and two, you have to use both your cards. So normally it pays, I would say, a couple hundred for sure, but probably 500 is a good guess. A lot of times it actually gets up to over $1,000, and I can confirm that last Sunday it was up to $1,400, and this guy decided to play pocket fives and hit the high hand. So it does get up to over $500, over $1,000 on a daily basis here at the Texas Card House. All right, looks like we might finally see a flop as, right as I say that. So Vagabond raising it with the Jack 9 and Rock 3 betting it. We are seeing a flop though.
What is it? You had one that all in had? Yeah, it was just
Jack 9 flopping open-ended. His jack's no longer good, as the jack will give the ace-king a straight. And he's going to call the $75 bet here. He might even raise. No, he just calls. Club on the turn for fun. King of clubs. Oh, queen of clubs on the turn. Now he has a straight flush draw. So he checks again. And Rock keeping up the aggression. I kind of want to see a check raise here, but he is scared that Rock might have the queen. See what happens on the river. Oh, and it's going to go check, check. Ace High is going to win this pot. Huge pot for just Ace High, a $600 pot. Ace High getting the win. If Vagabond would have played it a little more aggressive on the flop, if he would have check raised the flop, I think that would have ended the hand. And then he turned a straight flush draw, so his hand actually got better. And he called another bet on the turn and then breaks off. I don't think he thought a bet would work, obviously. I think he put actually rock on a queen. $10 butted straddle coming from the button. So action will be on the small blind. Small blind being Nuno. Nuno with the ace-4. I think he's going to fold, but let's see. Yeah. Ting, making sure his cards got scanned. Cards is Jack-9. He makes the call, and Vagabond going to be raising it up. I kind of want to see at least 60. At least 60. It's exactly 60. Ace-King for Sam with the 3-bet. And we might see some fireworks if an ace comes out. I don't think Vagabond's going to be putting in a 4-bet here. 140 more for him to call. Think he's going to make the call. Very, very reasonable call. Yeah, he does make it. He does not want to see an ace. Oh, he flops a flush. Sam with the king of spades. So Sam's going to continue here. He has the king of spades. So Sam thinks that his flush draw is live, and he thinks his ace and king are live. And yes, indeed, Sam does continue putting out a $100 bet. Vagabond immediately calling it with the Stone Cold Nuts. I was going to say if the board pairs, it's going to save Sam money, but I don't think Sam is going to stop betting. I think Sam is going to bet again. Let's see what he does. There's $600 in the middle. Sam bets 200. And does Vagabond just call again? He might put in a raise here, hoping that his opponent has like pocket kings with the king of spades. Or even if his opponent just has an ace, his opponent now has a straight draw. No, he just calls. So if the board pairs, it's going to save Sam money. If not, okay, a 10. All right, so I don't think Sam is going to lose any more money as Vagabond has checked it all away, and now I think he's going to lead. I kind of wanted to see a raise on the turn. And he's going to bet 400. And Sam immediately folds. So $500 win for Vagabond. He arrived late, but he came out guns a-blazing, and he's up almost $1,000. He's up $1,700. Nuno started the stream with us and is up almost $2,000. So both these players up almost $2,000. Carlos up $600. And Tony Stacks still the big loser. He's down over $1,500. And Sam is now in the red as well after losing that ace-king versus ace-queen hand. $10 straddle under the gun from Tony Stacks, which means that Carlos is first to act. Sam raising, had ace-king last time, and he has king-queen this time. Ace-jack of Fins fan calling, and Nuno, who has a king and a jack, will be making the call as well. So Nuno in terrible shape. If he hits a jack, he's out-kicked. If he hits a king, he's out-kicked. Queen, 10 of spades. Vagabond's going to be making the call. And Tony Stacks, I think, is going to call here. He has 8-5. I've seen him play this hand a lot. He's suited. He's closing the action. It's 25 more for him to call. And he's going to be flicking it in here. Flicking the chip. One green chip, Tony. Is he really thinking about raising? No, okay, there you go. He just calls. So 6 ways to the flop we go. $185. This is a 2-5 game. $185. 6 ways to the flop.
That was your shot. 175. That was your shot, bro. That was it. Now you're not gonna get it back. You're not gonna get those 35 back.
It's going to come 10 high. So Nuno and Sam flopping a straight draw. Vagabond flopping the best hand with the 10. Sam might c-bet because he needs a jack for a straight, but it's just too much as there's too many players to get through.
Fuck, I would have been even for the night.
I'm not sure if Finn's fan knows that Sam checked. What? So Finn's fan moving all in. He doesn't think anybody has a 10, but Vagabond does. Kind of puts him in a weird spot to call, but I think he's going to call. He does have a backdoor straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. There was basically $200 in the pot, and there is a $471 bet. So if Vagabond was last to act, he still has Sam to worry about behind him. If he was last to act, I think he would for sure call. But he's going to make the fold. And I cannot see Sam calling. And he shows the ace jack. He shows the ace jack.
If he's not behind me, I call.
And you went there, we go.
Yeah, I had to.
I thought I needed to run a run.
So Eric feeling good, getting to bluff through.
Hit a run.
Got a little pep in his step now.
The stream is about to end.
It's not over yet.
4 more hands.
I believe we have another straddle coming here.
Eight. Electricity goes 8. Half by me, half by you.
Yes, $10 straddle. And looks like Tink put it on the $10 straddle.
Be grateful.
We got about another 5 hands to go on the stream. And normally these players play after the stream. It looks like Nuno is not going to be playing after the stream as he's already getting racks. He was here since the beginning, so
Work for the county.
Oh, you steal from the taxpayers. I'm sorry.
Sam with the ace-5, raising it up.
Take off, man.
King, queen from Finn's fan, making the call. Nuno with the jack-8 suited will continue to rack his chips. Ting with the computer hand, defending his straddle. And Tony Stacks not going to be able to call with the 8-3. Carlos also making the fold. So Sam in the lead right now. He was the pre-flop raiser. And action will be on Sam with the ace-5 offsuit. King, 5-3, 2 hearts. So Finn's fan flopping a king. And let's see if Sam c-bets. Sam hit a 5. Sam is going to c-bet to less than 100, I think. Looks like 70. Finn's fan immediately calls. Ting will be folding. Ting does fold. Sam looking for an ace or a 5. You can see the king of hearts there, also known as the suicide king. Looks like he's sticking the sword in his head. And now he's going to hit another king, which is a great card for Finn's fan, because Sam is not going to put him on a king. I think if Finn's fan bets here, Sam is going to be calling. $100 bet. I think Sam's going to call. Sam also has the ace of hearts. And yes, Sam does call. An ace would be a very bad card for Sam. And it's a 9. The flush got there though. I don't think Sam is going to lose any more money in this hand. Vince fan is thinking about putting in a bet. $542 in the pot. Should probably bet about 200. So Vince fan is literally talking it out right now on whether or not to bet. And he finally does put in the bet. Only 100. A little bit of Hollywood from him. Yeah, and Sam is basically making fun of his acting. The flush got there, so Sam cannot call. The flush. Oh, Sam does call. So the speech from Finn's fan, I know you guys can't hear it, but when Sam checked the river to him, Finn's fan saying, "Oh, you don't have a king. You want to check a king to me. You want to check a flush to me. You want to do this. You want to do that." And then he puts out $100. And Sam thought he was getting a good price. Plus, I think he wanted to pay for the information to figure out why Finn's fan was putting on a show. So we have, let me see. We have another 3 hands to go on tonight's stream, which should take us about 10:30. All right, straddle under the gun. It's going to be a triple straddle. So $10 from Rock, $20 from Sam, $40 from Finn's fan. The Riri. Oh, is Tink calling? Yes, I think Tink's calling. And I think the reason why he's calling is they told the players that the stream is getting ready to come to an end. So I think Tink wants to get involved here and win a big pot before the stream ends. So normally they play after the stream, but I don't think that's going to happen, as a couple of people are already cashing out. We did start about an hour late, and maybe that's factoring in, as Sam has a really good hand and he is going to raise. And this should be a raise and take. Yeah, it's going to be a raise and take. So 2 more hands to go. I don't know if they're going to continue, but normally, like I said, the 2-5 players continue, especially since it's a Friday night. But I'm thinking maybe since we started late, that's going to factor in. So now we have the double straddle. You can see the winners of the night. Nuno already cashing out, so Nuno won just under 2,000. So the biggest winner currently sitting at the table is Vagabond. Carlos winning 600. Rock making a comeback. I think Tink's gonna fold, but he caught the previous hand with the 6-4. Tony Stacks making the raise, knowing this might be his last chance to make back his money. Rock making the call with the ace. Sam also coming along with the king. Finn's fan getting a very good price on his money, and he's going to call with the Jack-8 of hearts. So 4 ways to the flop we go, $162 in the middle. The ace dominating the Jack-8, the ace-8 dominating the Jack-8, and the king-10 dominating the queen-10. And it'll come Jack-8. So Finn's fan taking the lead. Had the worst hand pre-flop, now has the best hand, and Rock, who flopped an 8, will be betting. gut shot straight draw for Tony Stacks. Decides to make the call. Tony Stacks looking for a 9. And now he has an open-ended straight draw with the king. So he's going to call another bet here, I think, because FinSfan is going to size up. No, FinSfan making it 115. I think that's a reasonable bet for Tony Stacks to call now that he has an open-ended draw. And he does make the call. Rock gets out of the way, so Tony Stacks looking for an ace or a 9. Ace or a 9. It's going to be a 6. So FinSfan checked dark before the river came out, and Tony Stacks immediately checks behind, and FinSfan will win that $500 pot as we're coming up to hand 70 is going to be the last hand of the stream. And here comes hand 70. So this will be the last hand of the stream. Would once again like to thank everybody who joined us tonight. Remind you that we do stream every Friday night, 2-5 action. We appreciate the like, Jeff. Thank you for the like.
Ringo gives me a good draw that makes it better.
Nobody straddling. Nobody straddling, so this will be the last hand of the night. As we have FinSfan. Oh, I did not see the $10 button straddle. There's a $10 button straddle from Carlos. Rock with the ace-queen just makes the call. FinSfan with the 10-4. The trucker, that's a big 10-4, good buddy. Ting making the call, I think. And Carlos checking his options. So 4 ways to a flop we go. $45 up for grabs. And it'll come jack high. Very similar flop to last hand as we had a jack 8 flop last time. Ting and Carlos flopping an 8. Carlos might bet his 8. Carlos is betting his 8. Looks like about a pot-sized bet. Is it 50? No, it's 45. So exactly a pot-sized bet coming from Carlos here. Ting might call considering he's last to act. He does have bottom pair. Chances are it's going to be a chop pot as Carlos has a 7 kicker and Ting has a 5 kicker. There's a deuce, so now it's a chop pot. 8s and deuces with a jack kicker. I think it's going to go check. Carlos does have the 8 of hearts. He does have position. And he is putting out a bet. It's going to be hard for Ting to call. It's a $125 bet. $125. It's going to be hard for him to call. So this should avoid the chop pot. No, Ting calls. So Ting does not believe him. Queen coming on the river. That completes a couple of straights. Ting is just going to check again, and they are going to chop this. 8s and deuces with a queen kicker. So the chop pot, each of them winning. Well, one of them winning $12. The other one winning $13. So on Wednesday, we ended the stream with full house versus full house. We stream Wednesdays, a 1-3 game on the secondary channel, which is called Texas Card House, 3 different words. This channel is TCH Live. So we do stream on the secondary channel on Wednesdays. We ended it with a full house versus full house situation. Tonight's stream, we are kind of ending it in the opposite direction with a chop pot. One player winning $12, the other player winning $13. And they will, looks like we're bringing in a new player now that the stream's over. But that'll end it for tonight, folks. So I'd like to thank everybody who joined us tonight. And